everybody. Welcome to Bad Science Sunday, where we take a comedic approach to debunking science misinformation on the internet. And today I have with us Ember and Daedalus Media.
Hello.
What's up?
Daedalus, would you like to tell the crew who you are? Just the elevator pitch for the.
Sure, I am the co-host of the YouTube channel Two Guys Talking History, where we cover history and politics and mostly sarcasm and do conflict analysis. So Israel, Palestine, Ukraine have been a lot of what we've been doing lately.
All the fun
man.
hits.
Yeah.
Yes, I've had a good 2 years. Not really.
It's been an eventful 2 years, that's for damn sure. And
Yeah.
what's your background, your major, your expertise?
So my background is in American military history, but because we're everywhere, I kind of have to do a little bit of everything.
Awesome. So you can definitely tell us about like all the alien conspiracy theories that the government is hiding from the rest of us.
Where are the bodies?
Yes.
Inquiring minds want to know.
It's true.
They do, but I think there's probably been spirited away by magnets.
Those pesky magnets. They're just grabbing things all the time without even asking.
The fuck is up with that? Oh, and you know what, Ember, you're looking ravishing today.
Thank you.
I am going to find our bingo link, and while you tell everybody who you are, as if they haven't just followed you over.
Right? I try to bring my own crowd with me. I
do appreciate that.
Anyway. Yeah. I am Ember of Better Than Ember because I am better than Ember. I do a channel here on YouTube by that name where I debunk conspiracy nonsense and also other nonsense and superstitious nonsense and occasionally some real content too from time to time. I also do on other channels various things. For example, I do the Good News segment on Transpositions Weekly on that channel, The Transpositions. I have a bunch of different links. That's more than YouTube. I do TikTok, I do Threads. I'm all over the bloody place. So the best way to find me is at betterthanember.com.
Oh, yeah. And all of the links for everyone is in the box. Let's see.
Love them in a box.
And what did I want to say? All right, so Ember is here as my co-host because the weasels are being weird.
Well,
they're in timeout.
And I'm disappointed. I spent the whole week getting ready, right? I thought to myself, what is the two things I can combine that are basically totally obscure to science, right? Magnets and fungus. So I started looking up to see if there was a magnetic fungus. And it turns out there is.
Oh.
Or at very least a fungus that reacts to magnetism.
Okay.
Wait, the fungus is magnetic or it feeds on magnets?
It is capable of reacting to magnetic fields. Like as it grows, it grows around magnetic fields, which is kind of cool, actually.
That is
Yeah,
cool.
I wonder how that works. Does it like?
I have no idea, and I don't think they do either.
Yeah, that could be fun. But I am going to do my best as to be a substitute weasel today. I have my science coat. I straightened the wig, but I think it suits me.
Wigs are a work in process.
You know.
Yeah, you gotta get used to them. So is this, you have the Ember? Okay, Ember. Blah, blah, blah. Ember screen is up. Do you have the video?
I think so. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah. Knock on wood, lady. Knock on wood.
I don't have any. I have artificial wood. I can try. It's a plastic tabletop. I don't know what
No. It's totally wooden. The universe. It's totally wooden.
Ooh, I may be out of luck on that one. There's literally nothing that's made of wicker.
I have an IKEA bookshelf that might be made of wood.
You have okay. Is the video loaded?
Yeah.
Okay.
I assume it is. Let's find out. For
There is-
science!
For
There is a
science.
video
Let's get involved to
here.
investigate the Roswell incident, either
Oh,
the
that's
biggest
beautiful.
UFO cover-up of all time,
Oh,
or just the
it's-
biggest misunderstanding of all time.
Can you
It's
hear
Shane
it?
and
I can hear
yeah,
it.
I can hear it. It's Shane and Ryan. There we go.
I can't hear
Oh,
it.
are you familiar?
Mm-hmm. Not
Yeah.
only have they did Buzzsolve, they have their own channel now called Watcher. That's kind of went tits up, and they now get on network TV. They did SWAT and they did The Rookie, so they get on cop shows only, apparently.
What? Okay.
Huh.
Interesting. So, okay, yeah, this is back when they were on BuzzFeed and they were doing something that's kind of tantamount to the Y Files.
Yeah.
And so they're an interesting crew, especially it's BuzzFeed Paranormal or
BuzzFeed Unsolved.
Unsolved. Yes, yes. So they are going to solve the mystery of whether or not there is other intelligent life in the universe and if they have visited Earth. So at the end of this video, you should be convinced that there are definitely aliens and they've definitely visited us. And, you know, I'm not saying it's aliens, but, you know,
They're
actually,
this big.
they're this big.
That's what the gesture's for. Not bigger than a bread box.
Actually,
Are they like
what?
fish? They're this big.
They're
No, this
fish.
big. This big. I
All right.
caught one this
Depends on
big.
how many times you've told the story.
All right, so we're going to, but yeah, I don't remember that we have to stop it, you know, for all the things and whatnot.
Yeah.
All right,
I
let's go.
know how this works. I don't get copyright issues except from like Ray Comfort or people who steal their music specifically to make other people get copyright strike. Although Jason never
Zoomer
mind. That's
is-
a whole other thing.
Yeah, Ray is a special little person.
Wasn't that the banana guy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if we have time later, I can pull up the clip for that. I have it saved, but I'd have to go dig
Really?
for it.
All right. Well, let's get this one started.
Yes.
Either way, 70 years later, we're still debating about it. This is the holy grail of alien stories, in my opinion.
The
it's a
holy
buzzword.
grail
All
of,
the time.
of alien stories. Don't you love it? Roswell. We're doing Roswell, Area 51. I guess it is. It's kind of where it all began.
Well, there were a couple of reports before Roswell. So everything was going a little bit crazy in the post-war years, partly because of the sudden rapid advances in technology and rocketry and the soon-to-be space race. Suddenly there's nuclear power and all the sci-fi stories seem to be coming true. So of course people are going to be thinking, well, if we're going into space, surely more advanced species are already in space and surely they must be visiting us. And so the story started spreading, and Roswell was one of the bigger ones, but it wasn't the earliest one.
Yeah, there's still like the Foo Fighter phenomenon, World War II, where Allied pilots would report seeing things up in the air. So
yeah,
earliest
oh my
one.
goodness, there's it's a different thing, but there's a legendary UFO incident is the Battle of Los Angeles, where the anti-aircraft batteries engaged in the middle of the night with spotlights, and nobody ever saw anything. Whatever it was the army was shooting at, nobody knew, but there was something they
Yes.
thought, therefore aliens.
Right.
Don't know
let's
all the
go.
gritty details. Desert, government, aliens, etc.
All right, let's get into it.
Spin a yarn, Tommy Bahama.
The year is 1947, a year that saw an unusually large wave of reported UFO sightings. In the last 6 months of 1947 alone, there were over 300 claims of UFO sightings. Among these,
So
It was very popular.
it was very popular. And I forget, was there like a movie or something that came out that kind of precipitated all of the UFO sightings?
That I can't remember, but like I would also point out that these kinds of things cluster.
Yeah.
So someone reports a UFO sighting in an area and someone else reports a UFO sighting, and you'll get like incidents of of lights, and a lot of people see the lights and they say, oh, it's UFOs, and like So like you get clusters, you get periods and places where there are huge numbers of UFO sightings. There was a lot in the end of the 40s. There's a lot, like Rendlesham Forest happens, and then you get the Blue Book shortly thereafter, a couple of years later.
Mhm.
So like there's a lot going on in this like 2 decades, UFOlogy wise.
Yeah, I seem to recall there were a few different early movies having to do with the concept of UFOs and whatnot. But what triggers in my memory is that prior to a certain movie popularizing the idea of a flying saucer, UFOs came in all sorts of shapes and sizes. They were
Yeah.
cigars, they were zeppelins, they were bells, they were whatever you could think of. After that movie, suddenly everything is flying saucers.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I remember last time you were here, Daedalus, we were talking about the Thule Society and the Vril Society. And I was asking you about that famous spaceship that nobody knows what it is, but we definitely know it never flew in the sky.
Yes, the Nazi thing.
Yeah.
The Nazi pie platter. I think we also talked about Operation High Jump too.
Hmm.
I think
Oh,
we've
yeah,
actually done high jump every time I've been on the show.
You just
For people who were not here every time you've been on the show or don't know, can you tell them what Operation High Jump is? Just
So, so the Cliff Notes is Operation High
Yeah.
Jump was a real United States naval expedition to Antarctica, and it returned and it was fine. But persistent stories have it as a famous UFO battle between aliens, Nazis, and the United States Navy. It's a fascinating tale that apparently came out of Soviet archives, and it's really hard to nail down. But like people keep making up stories about this expedition. Uh, Fairly recently, I saw a YouTube channel do a new video about Operation High Jump. I haven't watched it yet, but I got to get to that.
Oh, I mean, if you want to share, it was,
This channel is called Wartime Stories, and it definitely
oh,
does
Hmm.
a lot of the. It's there's two channels, related channels on YouTube that people probably recognize if they're into this at all: Bedtime Stories and a sister channel called Wartime Stories, and they do great artwork and black and white drawings, and they do a fairly good retelling of most of these either true crime events or paranormal stories.
okay,
fantastic.
interesting. Um, and then what the hell? Yeah. Oh, right. The very first one you were on, we were talking about inner Earth and like the white people that
Oh, the whiter white people, yes.
yes, yeah, the whiter white people.
Even more
The
white inside the
Yes,
Hollower.
the perfectly white people who have not been tarnished by I don't know, us brown folk that live inside the earth. Yes.
Yes.
And then I think the second time you came back, we talked about why. Well, we kind of got to the origins of why the Nazis believed that these people existed. Um, and today, this is kind of the fallout. Um, well, I guess the things that happened after all of that, where I don't know, depending on I don't know that Roswell has the story of Roswell in and of itself if it's like too much Nazi influences, but it definitely took on more tones of that later.
Well,
Well,
there
it
are
was also
there are
very
influences though. Like you're looking at the post-war period and Operation
Mhm.
Paperclip, and we're like spiriting away Nazi scientists to use for space program research and shit. So, sorry. So you have this kind of influence. People, the atomic bombs detonate too, right?
Yeah.
And these things were developed in near secret, near total secret, really, except for a few notable exceptions of communist spies. But like broadly speaking, people had just seen the United States government pull out of its ass, more or less,
Yeah.
a world-changing weapon and a world-changing source of power. So the kind of conspiracy idea is there. Like there's
Yeah.
a framework for it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And on top of all that, we had the Cold War was starting to shape up. It was already getting going before the war in Europe was even fully completed. And that created some paranoia within the US government. We're just a few years away from McCarthyism, and Roswell set itself apart by dint of the fact that there were initial, supposedly credible reports from the military that there were actually UFOs reported in real respectable newspapers. And then it was retracted and replaced with the story of, oh, it was actually weather balloons. And that just, everyone got maximum suspicion.
Yeah, 100%. And we're actually, I should let you press the play button because they're going to talk about that.
Yay!
Is the infamous Roswell incident. Skeptics and believers alike can agree on one thing. Something crashed in the fields of Foster Ranch, located just northwest of Roswell, New Mexico. Whether that something is something extraordinary or mundane remains highly debated.
You're clearly on the skeptic side here already going in, right? That's a dumbass question. Of course you are. You're fucking Shane. All right.
Don't try to paint me as a.
I'll paint you however I want.
What?
I'll paint the hell out of you however I want.
You paint me in your free time?
Yeah.
Wow, they remind me of another like duo that I can't remember the other person's name.
Oh no, they have decent chemistry on screen. It's what made this channel work, and they left, and the channel died.
Oh, the channel's still there?
Oh,
I mean, well, say still there. Obviously, it's still there, but like making content.
It is. As a matter of fact, while I was logging in to get to your chat so I could watch it, I saw that they were streaming.
Okay, fair enough. You really do love these things.
I do.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Oh,
Do
Jesus.
you want to see them?
No, never.
Let's go through the official timeline, as played out in the media and through official reports from the
official timeline.
Yeah.
None of this extra timeline. None of the.
No. It's only the official alien findings here.
None of the fan works, just the official stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
U.S. Air Force. Sometime before June 14th, a crash occurred on Foster Ranch. On July 4th, a local rancher named Mac Brazel visits the crash site to pick up some of the debris. On July 7th,
it took him 2 weeks to go check on the crash site?
Okay. In fairness, sometimes farmers don't notice things. In a previous life, I used to do search and rescue for the Civil Air Patrol. So one night we get the call that there's a ELT in a small aircraft going off. And so we go and we look for it, and eventually we find it. And there's this downed airplane in a field. And we go up and we wake the farmer and we tell him why we're there and can we have permission to go on his land. And he's like, I didn't know an airplane crashed on my land. And there it was, not but a mile into his fields, crashed airplane. So,
Sure. I could see something happening and not being aware of it. It happens to everybody at some point. There's the people who had the asteroid in their car who woke up and there was an asteroid in their car. It had crashed right through the roof of the car. But like they seem to be like he went out to harvest bits of the crash debris, which implies he knew about it, and it just took him 2 weeks. And they also present a date, which implies they knew about it, and they marked it on the calendar or something. It's very strange.
I know, but man, we get to it when we get to it. Don't bother us.
Oh, Jester would like you to know that your hair is banging, Ember.
Hell yeah! I wonder, can I bang this hair? It's been so long since my hair was actually long enough to do anything with. I don't even know how to make my head do the proper movements, but I will try. No,
Sexy.
Never mind. It's
totally sexy.
Woohoo! Subscribe to my Ember fans.
Mac Brazel decides to take some of the
See what else I can do with this hair.
debris to local sheriff George Wilcox. Wilcox then contacts Colonel Butch Blanchard at the nearby military base, the Roswell Army Airfield.
Well, he hasn't
Roswell
contacted
base
someone in the
was
Air
on-
Force because the Air Force wouldn't be a thing for 2 more years.
That makes sense.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
The National Defense Act of 1949.
Yeah.
So it was the Army Air Force at the time.
United States Army Air Corps, yeah.
Yeah. Much like we're now pretending Space Force is separate from the Air Force, but that's a whole other conversation.
Well, they have to be.
details.
They went to Battlestar Galactica for the uniforms. Like, I love the coat. I just love the service jacket coat because it is the Battlestar Galactica coat. I'm like, you sons of a bitches. That's awesome.
And they stole the Starfleet logo for their logo, and
Yes.
it just infuriates me because like every single piece of sci-fi ever talks about a space navy. You travel the stars in space ships. What are we doing with this Space Force bullshit?
Well, it's a Trump product, so you know it's shit.
Oh, hey, there's a question for you. Question for Big Daddy, or Big Daddy. Is the movie The Philadelphia Experiment about the destroyer USS Eldridge being sent back in time when an anti-radar device malfunctions, based on a true story?
It is based on a persistent story. Like, if you ever go look at the Philadelphia Experiment, like people get like really weird, horrific ideas about that.
Hmm.
There was an experiment. It did not send people back in time. It happened, but like the paranormal details are unconfirmed.
It's there's a lot, and I don't want to tangent us too far, but I don't know
Ember,
about
you were just talking about being sent back in time.
yeah, we were doing time machines over on my show just before this show.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. Now, the Philadelphia Experiment, it did really happen, sort of. Asterisk. It did take place on a decommissioned destroyer called the USS Elbridge.
Yes.
However, the project wasn't about time travel at all. It was Project Rainbow was the name of it, and that was a real thing that the anomalous research people were doing. It was supposed to bend light. It was sort of like a stealth technology was the idea, but also
Yes.
possibly cloaking. Details are slightly murky because the conspiracy people have mangled the hell out of the story. But it was a real project, and it did not go according to plan. It's true that the command on the docks lost contact with the Eldritch during the experiment, which is the seed of where all the conspiracies come from. However, that was to be expected using an electromagnetic generator to create the
Which would have
electromagnetic warping field.
taken out the radios.
Yeah.
No, and it's also like, it's one of those things, being you mentioned Star Trek, so we're going to take another detour because I've been drinking. Cloaking devices are a thing on Star Trek, right? The ship cloaks and you can't see it anymore. The problem with this is that, like, the ship wouldn't be able to see out either.
Oh, yeah, that would be a bit of a sticky wicket.
So the Romulans would just be not like, they wouldn't be a terrifying force running around in cloak ships. They'd just be a bunch of people bouncing off of asteroids all day long.
That
Wouldn't
could be fun.
it explode?
That too.
Oh, well, that seems inconvenient.
It
Well, it
does.
depends on how you're bending light, right? Like if you're only affecting photons, if you're detouring the photons around you, then you would still hit matter. But if you're bending space and that's carrying the photons with it, then the asteroids in the space will also be diverted around you.
See season 7 TNG Pegasus.
That was a creepy one. Seeing the ship half fused with an asteroid.
Speaking of the Philadelphia Experiment, yes.
Yeah. It comes full circle, folks.
Look, I brought it home.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, right. We were doing something.
Yeah.
All right.
Elite
Maya's like, enough of this. Can we play the nonsense we
No,
actually came here
He
for?
brought it home. Way to go. Let's on with the
Yay.
show.
That's right.
509th Bombardment Group, which deployed atomic bombs at the end of World War II. Colonel Blanchard alerts his superior, General Roger W. Ramey, and orders Major Jesse Marcel, the 509th's intelligence.
I just want to say I really
Why?
enjoy how their faces are blacked out at the eyeballs.
Yeah, but I have another issue. Why is Major Jesse Marcel wearing a uniform that at the 40s is about 30 years out of date?
Oh,
Because he's a time traveler, duh.
Okay, got it.
yeah. Obviously. I see. This is why I brought Daedalus to the party. It's like I never would have noticed that.
Same, honestly.
Officer to assess the crash site and recover the materials.
So much bureaucracy here.
I mean, it's the
You
military.
got to call one guy. He calls a different guy. Who calls this guy? Orders this guy to call that guy, and then that guy's. This is why information gets muddled in cases like these,
Yes.
because you got this big shitty chain of command.
It's like game of telephone, essentially.
I mean,
But it's
kind
the
of,
military. It's a
but,
ladder
like,
structure. Of course.
if there, I mean, information would get muddled if everything was written down. Just saying.
Well, not to do that again. Sorry, you're gonna regret. This is why I only get invited once every 8 months. So the way it generally works, and it's a very time tested thing. So I learned it in college when I was doing
What,
ROTC.
reading?
Yeah, well, no. How orders are issued is I get the order from the guy above me who has taken out the unnecessary information for the bigger units outside of me, and then I take that and I translate it in the information for my unit. So, like, the core of the information always stays the same, from the general down to the weirdo at the bottom doing doing staff stuff for squads and platoons. But, like, that doesn't, like, necessarily imply that they have muddled all the information in and of itself, if they
Okay.
want to hide it.
It just
So,
presenting it in a certain way paints
What-
the picture that makes it easier to conspiracize.
Yes. So how it generally works is, like, it's basically called troop leading procedures for the Army, and it's a set of processes that you go through that are more or less. Oh, my fan fell. Okay, sorry. I thought we had creepy stuff happening. Is that more or less gives you the ability to, like, follow a chain of orders down the line.
okay.
Yeah, like a chain of custody, but for
But for
information.
yes,
Yeah.
It's going to be that way.
Game of Phones.
Oh my god.
Good, huh?
No, that was terrible.
good.
I'm actually upset right now.
that was an SNL skit.
Colonel Blanchard is briefed by intelligence officers.
Was it?
It was when Game of Thrones was a thing, and I know because I finally got over season 8 and started watching House of the Dragon.
Okay. Yeah, no, getting
Like
over, I don't
yesterday.
know that I don't know that I'm, like, over season 8.
Well, I
It
didn't-
still, like, hurts me right here, right?
I didn't hate at least parts of it as much as other people did.
No, I just, yeah, fiery passion.
But people got mad at me because I didn't get that upset about Danny's character arc.
I'm not. She wasn't. I mean, I didn't really care about her one way or another. Like, my problem is that I like things that make sense.
Well, you're in the
And I-
wrong business, ma'am.
I kind of feel like the Game of Thrones season 8 deserves to be on this show. Like, HBO would never allow it. God damn.
Well, actually, let me do this plug now. Me and Hetman had a meeting this week instead of doing a show because I knew I was doing this and I wanted to be at my best game. So we had a
Okay.
meeting, and I said to him, I think what we should start doing is doing movies and TV shows on Patreon, because I can stream it on Patreon and get around the copyright infringement, and you can just
Yeah.
basically get a podunk historian at the movies thing. So that's what we're going to start doing. And I think the first one we're going to do is Troy from
Mhm.
2004 with Brad Pitt.
Hell yeah.
And
because
actually, a lot
I
of
love
people,
that movie.
A
but
lot
I
of
hate
people
it.
do that, and then you could actually cut it up to make content, because scripted vids are doing really well in the algorithm right now.
Yeah, that's the other
And
thing
if
we're
you
talking about.
and if you cut it down to where you're just, like, kind of doing these snippets of the show and then, like, more of you talking, you can still release it to YouTube for extra money and, ostensibly.
Yeah, and, like, copyright law bothers me, right? Because if you ever
Right.
watch my show, and you do, I know, because you show up in the chat a lot.
Yeah.
I do when I do React content. Boy, howdy, do I react! Like, I'll take a 30-minute thing, and we'll be 3 hours into this thing. I'm like, I'm still mad.
No, yeah, same actually. But I think people really, well, say obviously, like, at least the people in this chat seem to like reaction content, but people in general seem to. And I don't know. I know I have a lot of streamers in my chat, so
Yeah,
if there's, I watch a lot of reaction videos, on for actually a lot of different stuff too. And I just noticing how live, I don't know, it's, and I don't know what it is, if it's like an algorithm push or what, but like scripted vids do seem to do better in the algorithm than.
yeah. Like I'm taking on different things right now and doing like I'm working on a scripted video this week about Israel and Gaza, and then Israel up and occupies Gaza. I'm like, God damn it! Now I got to start over.
Right.
It just never stops. This is why the documentarians, the war history people, they do like World War II stuff that stops changing.
Yes, I should know better. I've been doing this a while. I should know better, but here I am, a
I
glutton for
think that,
punishment.
and I kind of think YouTube should just not ever let History Channel um, strike anybody for copyright strike, because it is only ever done to debunk their bullshit and
Yes.
allowing that to go. I mean, it really does have a chilling effect just with the like the rate that they do it. It's just, oh my god, it's annoying, and they do it because they want the chilling effect, but it's just want bullshit, right?
Well, a lot of times my strategy is YouTube's internal editor is working with AI now to pull specific stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
you can go in when you get a copyright notice and you
Mm-hmm.
can pull just like audio or a portion of the audio.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
lot better now.
Yeah.
My strategy has basically been to do the thing,
Mm-hmm.
wait like 16 hours till I get the thing, and then
Mm-hmm.
pull it. Pull the said
Yeah, because
portion.
yeah, they really are good about telling you what they want you to pull so that you don't get the copyright. But I'm pretty sure that with the History Channel will be anything I do showing their content, and I'm like, no,
Yes.
you need to know what I'm responding to. This is bullshit.
Well, okay, let's do Ancient Aliens for a minute. It's all nonsense.
Uh
There, you're
huh.
done. No. Like I
So
was talking to an archaeologist once who was watching the show, and they're talking
Okay.
about a dig in South America on a Mayan temple, and there's this. They got permission from the government, and they basically bored through rock to get into a chamber of this temple with a modern drill, which left a hole that looks like a drill hole. And
Mm-hmm.
Ancient Aliens comes in and does an episode of like, look how perfect this hole is. Yes, it was their hole that they dug with the drill. Look how perfect this hole is. It must have been done by aliens. You couldn't have carved it
lasers.
out so perfectly. Like, and like, okay, let's sum up pyramids. Nile, rock. Put rock on boat. Float down Nile. Get off the boat. Push the rock up a ramp onto the pyramid. Stack rocks. Pyramid. Hurrah! You're done.
No,
Not
no,
that mysterious.
Daedalus. They were brown people. They couldn't have possibly come up with something as simple as, or complicated, sorry, as stack rock.
I know. It's
Just crazy talk.
I mean,
absolute. That's
it's the middle of a desert today. Therefore, there were no rocks. Like maybe the people who lived up the river who had rocks might
Or
get
in the
the idea of
sky.
stacking rocks, but the people in the sand where there's no rocks, where would they possibly get the concept of stacking rocks?
and conversely,
So,
there's Stonehenge, which is just a pile of rocks haphazardly placed around. And that's white people, people. It's like mayonnaise. Jesus Christ.
well, they were sort of like pre-white people, white
Yeah.
people.
There,
You know?
there. I keep seeing really interesting archaeology articles about like, look how dark skinned these people were in England. I'm like, that's not going to go over well with certain portions of the English population.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about the same people. I mean, we might be talking about the same people who got upset that Greek statues actually used to have paint on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rome was a beautifully multicolored city. It wasn't white marble. News to everyone. And those are also probably the same people who keep telling me that I'm enraged about Sydney Sweeney.
I
Like,
mean, it's just kind of insane that people got upset that the Greeks used paint.
no,
Which
no,
is
Right. Like
kidding me.
really brightly colored paint, by the
thing
way.
about the importance of dyes in Greek culture. Like they make a big deal over the freaking colors in the fucking Iliad.
I
Ugh.
mean, but the thing is, it actually shows like more intelligence because yeah, it to be able to make colors when you don't have like the things that we have today, where it's like super simple. But back then, you actually had to have the like ingredients. You had to go out. Like it wasn't simple. It wasn't a simple process. And like a lot of the things they did, I mean, highly intelligent. There's a couple of things that they did that we still don't understand how they did them. And like, but no, it not white must rage. Okay.
Which is ironic when you consider how people anchor Greek history and classical Greece as this pillar of Western civilization.
No, Pain is woke.
But pay no attention to Democritus's skepticism pre-atheism work. Only pay attention to the social system, because his other beliefs are communism
Yes.
or something. Yes.
I particularly love Elon Musk referenced a fairly famous battle between Spartan and Thebes recently. He's like, yeah, the Thebians beat the Spartans, and that's what we're going to do. I'm like, do you understand that the
No.
hallmark of that battle involved the sacred band of Thebes, which was 300 pairs, 150 pairs of gay men fighting on behalf of Thebes? Like, they won through woke.
All right. We're gonna get through more than 44 seconds of this video.
Probably not, but I like
Bold of you to
enthusiasm.
assume.
Sir Marcel on his crash site visit, and on the morning of July 8th, consequently orders Public Information Officer Lieutenant Walter Hott to issue a press release stating that they believe they have a, quote, flying saucer, end quote, in their possession. Soon after, the Roswell Daily Record's front page
Like a
ran the
frisbee?
headline, quote, Roswell Army Airfield captures flying saucer on ranch in Roswell region, end quote, where they reveal no details of, quote, the
RAAF
flying.
captures flying saucer. So the Australian Air Force captured the flying saucer?
Yeah, I was just about to ask you
Right.
what that F or RAAF is.
Royal
Yeah,
Australian Air Force.
Oh, catches
Also-
a flying saucer in Roswell, New Mexico.
Yes, they're
Oh.
a little out of place.
Okay, well, okay.
Yeah, it seems like this was a little AI assisted, perhaps.
This is way before AI was a big thing. This has got to be a 4 or 5 year old video at this point.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm looking at a copy. Can I just share? Yeah, I can share this tab.
Yeah.
The Roswell Daily Record, and it does indeed say RAAF captures flying saucer on ranch in Roswell. I wonder why it says that.
What's that about?
July 8th, 1947. Can I zoom in any further? Can
Yeah,
we get
can
close?
you?
Oh, look at that. Okay.
Okay.
Whoa. Hey, settle down. Where do we get the RAAF from? What's going on here?
U.S. Army Air Corps, Royal. No, I don't understand where you get that from. Unless the paper's made up. Like, this
I
is
don't know.
have to go. Have to
check
go, like,
it out.
you probably would have to go to a library in the area and check the microfilm. Almost.
No, Google's better.
It is, but
Roswell Army Airfield.
Oh, yep, there it is.
oh, there we go. That would
The
make sense.
509th Bombardment Group at Roswell Army Airfield.
Yep.
Okay. Well, now we've solved that mystery.
All right.
Congratulations, us. We
Yeah.
did a thing.
Take that, Aussies.
Oh, I just got a nice lightning storm
Upside
start.
down plane.
Fun.
Disc, end quote. That same day, the Air Force strangely changes their story. General Ramey orders the crash remains to be taken to him in Fort Worth, Texas, for his own personal inspection. He and his staff, including a base weather officer, identify them as pieces of a weather balloon.
I presume that we're still not actually the U.S. Air Force.
Not for another 2 years.
Suspicious. Unless he's another time traveler.
Well, I suspect that this kind of lore for the Air Force only makes sense to you if you have spent time around the Air Force, or you have a family member who was Army Air Corps, etc. So, like, my high school JROTC unit was Air Force, so that's why I remember the National Defense Act of 1949 so well.
Right.
But-
It's kind of like that whole business with celebrating the Army's 250th birthday, even though it was the 242nd birthday of the U.S. Army.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's just one of those military things where they make you do trivia. So I have a very large, between college as an Army cadet and high school doing the Air Force program, I have a very large set of mundane trivia that no one cares about.
You can't find any. Oh God. Nobody does trivia night on your like ancient alien theory
No,
knowledge.
no.
Sons of bitches.
There is a real, like, okay, so I do 2 Patreons, President Sunday and the Newkirk Museum, Traveling Museum of the Paranormal, because for reasons, and like they have their own Discord, and like, boy howdy, do they think military grade means it's important and not cheap shit that's marketed as military grade.
I've seen. I was in the Navy, but I've seen what military grade stuff looks like.
It's not good.
Don't, as much as they insist on marching, and I don't know why, because what are you going to do? March up and down the freaking battleships? But never mind that. Don't try to travel long distance in the Navy's issue boots. You will
No.
destroy your feet.
No, so I got lucky when I got issued my boots. I didn't have a regular pair of issue boots because it was right when BDU stopped and the new ACUs began. I kept them because the Army didn't want them back when my kidney disease stuff didn't go through. I kept the boots, and I have 2 pairs of very expensive combat boots that are the best goddamn boots I've ever owned. They like have vents so my feet can breathe.
Ooh, fancy.
Yes.
And issue a subsequent press release with the correction. A photo was taken in Ramey's office of intelligence officer Marcel with the crash materials he misidentified.
If you're a higher up and you see this press release and you're like, what the fuck? What is going on? I gotta go clean this up now?
Yeah.
And I knew that we were, pushing our big weather balloons through that area.
Oh, and I see what you're
And
saying.
I'm like, well, they're not gonna believe me unless I bring in Carl or whatever the guy's name.
And make him sit next to his mistake.
Bring in the weatherman, bring in the idiot rancher, and kind of rub his nose in it like a...
I think it's hilarious that the officer they sent to go assess the crash, they made him sit and pose with all the materials in the office in the picture.
You sit here for this photograph. You know that's a weather balloon, you idiot.
The next day,
Well, so
Carl, that kills me.
I love the lack of and just a lot of lack of like hand waving, and no sources happens a lot here. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on this conversation, or and what they're supposing is occurring?
Not being their only thing that I've watched. I think they're both genuine.
Sure.
Like, Shane genuinely believes and Ryan genuinely does not, or rather the other way around. Shane genuinely doesn't believe and Ryan does not. And honestly, their episodes where they go out to like haunted houses are at least a little bit better sourced. But like,
I'm not saying they're not genuine. I'm saying they are stupid.
Yeah, they're very credulous, I think.
Yeah, buying into things is there's pluses and minuses. So I'm trying to find these photos of Carl sitting with his weather balloon, and one thing that came up is this book cover from Amazon.
Okay.
But it's another newspaper clipping with a photo from the newspaper and the dude hanging out with what looks like foil lining of the same kind that we use to make all sorts. It's very human level technology. And it's about the Army being mad about the whole flying disc thing. It's the retraction thing, but it's from July 8th. So that's interesting. I don't know what it means, but it's interesting.
Also,
they're going to tell you what it means.
I haven't ever seen a weather balloon made of foil, but
perhaps that struck me too. Like, it's clearly not the balloon part, but perhaps it's insulation for the instrumentation and whatnot, because balloons do go up really
high. Yeah,
really, really cold. But that's speculation on my part.
Yeah, that I wouldn't know.
Ghosts trying to enter your room. What's going on back there?
Avery bombarded his way after being fed and being let out of his crate. And he wants to sit by me all the time, so he just punched the door open.
Nice.
Because he's actually...
Oh, wait. Is there a kitty?
The kitty is probably hiding under the bed. My roommate has 2 cats, and I have a dog. And Avery is the dog.
Oh, Avery's the dog. All right. So you have a puppy.
Yes.
Is it like holdable where like the audience can see puppy?
Avery. Come on, up here. Come on.
Puppy.
Puppy cam.
He will eventually. Come on, get up here. Come on.
This is rules of the internet. If
Oh,
pets are
yeah, if
standing,
you
you must kill
have a
pets.
pet.
Come on. He objects to being held, but come on. Up. He'll come up eventually. I'll get him.
Eventually. All right, we'll get him. We'll get him. All right, I
It's a
have to.
goal.
Apparently, I left something on. I'm gonna go turn that off. But you, please watch video. Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay, we can do that probably.
On July 9th, the Roswell Daily Record runs another article with the headline, quote, "Harassed rancher who located saucer, sorry he told about it," end quote, in which
Valid.
Roswell reveals that the supposed alien wreckage was merely, quote, "rubber strips, tinfoil, a rather tough paper, and sticks," end quote. And with Ramey's weather balloon explanation being corroborated by the case's key witness, the world promptly forgets about the Roswell incident.
Or did they?
I guess.
Because, I mean, we're talking about it now, so clearly they didn't actually forget about it.
Well, I mean, overall, it's been good for the town of Roswell, right? They run a huge tourist industry around this. In the
Mhm.
exact same way that West Virginia has a fucking Mothman statue and like Mothman pizza and shit.
Yeah,
Speaking of
I-
UFO sightings,
I've never been through Roswell while like there was daylight hours and shit, but they have a whole thing set up. In fact, isn't it possible that they took this story years later in order to try to make Roswell more of a roadside attraction? Because there was a thing that towns did, especially during the early days of the interstate, so that they didn't get completely passed over.
yeah, that's very possible. It's also like, again, when you talk to people, like 50% of people, and I'm not one of them, but 50% of people report experiencing something paranormal. And they might there might be people who genuinely believe in Roswell, that they're profiting from it, but they might also genuinely believe the story. Same as why can't I remember the name of that goddamn town in West Virginia now? The Mothman town.
I only know Charleston.
I only know Wheeling because there's a
Oh, yeah.
Toyota truck stop there. What is Mothman Town in West Virginia?
Oh, yeah. You said that, and Ember couldn't help herself.
It's true. I just it's a compulsion. Point Pleasant says
That's
the
it.
Google machine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And they have a thriving tourist industry built around that, and like conventions.
Behold the wonders of the moth. He's got bright
And
shiny eyes.
Ooh.
and that,
Ah.
Yeah. This is not the same thing. It's just a costume. Never mind. Let's go back to the statue. Ooh, a video version. Excitement. Look at that. This is not even remotely what we're supposed to be doing, but I mean,
Yeah. It's well, okay. Yeah, you're really off topic here.
yeah.
that never happens.
Play button.
For a while. Enter Stanton Friedman in 1978. Friedman was a nuclear physicist and leading UFO researcher. In 1978, Friedman interviewed Jesse Marcel, the then retired intelligence officer from the 509th, who was ordered to go assess the wreckage of the Roswell incident. Marcel would fully reignite the Roswell controversy when he revealed that he still believed the wreckage was definitively not a weather balloon. Here's a quote from Major Marcel in a different interview regarding the metal at the crash site. Quote, "It felt like you had nothing in your hands. It wasn't any thicker than the foil out of a pack of cigarettes. But the thing about it that got me is that you couldn't even bend it. You couldn't dent it. Even a sledgehammer would bounce off of it. I knew that I had never seen anything like that before," end quote. He goes on to say,
It doesn't
quote,
sound like
"It was
something
not
that could
anything on this
fly.
earth."
I mean, like through space, right?
Well, it depends on the weight, the density, various factors. Like you can put almost anything into space. It's just a matter of what
Sure.
you're going to do with it.
Yeah, but like, and then you're gonna power it to move through the universe.
Well,
Yeah.
Elon
I mean-
Musk put a bullshit car into space, so you
Did
could
you-
you never know. The Roswell thing could very well be some alien Elon Musk's bullshit that they launched off into the cosmos, and it
Are you
just their
sure?
trash fell into our yard.
I mean, yeah, I mean, but cyber trucks have been known to set on fire. You sure one didn't just explode and like go into space? And he was like, "No, that was totally not a mistake."
That's also possible. With Elon Musk, basically, you should assume the stupidest thing possible is happening.
Just saying.
We can't rule it out. The fastest object we've ever observed was a sewer cap that got blasted off at escape velocity, more than escape velocity. Oh, it's wild. But the reason I chuckled is because we sort of have a Russell's teapot situation with Musk's Roadster.
Yes.
We've been scanning the skies looking for potential asteroids and other impact risks, and we pinged a thing whose orbit seems to cross Earth's, although it seems to have come from Earth. And basically, we did the algebra, and we detected the fricking Tesla. Musk's Tesla showed up on Earth defense radar, basically. And we had to remove it from the list.
The Stargate program is most disappointed.
What is memory metal?
What is memory metal?
Someone get the Google.
Oh,
Is it like memory foam, but for metal? I'm not familiar.
It's the mattress material of choice for assholes.
Wikipedia says shape memory alloy in
That's what I
metallurgy.
got.
A shape memory alloy, SMA, is an alloy that can be deformed when cold but returns to its pre-deformed, remembered shape when heated.
Oh,
Neat.
does it also say? See, I don't have this here, but is your Google saying that it comes from alien technology? Because
No.
that's not what mine is saying.
Nope.
Nickel titanium alloy, apparently.
That
So it's not a weird thing. I mean, maybe for this time period, I don't know. How long has this been a thing?
it's fascinating. And we're all
History.
tangented. Red herring.
First thing in the 1930s.
Okay. Wait, so this is totally a thing that could have I say fallen out of the sky, but I mean it could have been in the sky for any number of reasons, and
But not commercialized until the 60s.
nobody's
Well,
saying it had to be commercialized. The army could have had it somewhere in a hell. I don't
Apparently,
know
it was
what
a
happened
Navy
in there.
invention.
Okay.
So we were just going to
So
gloss over
submarine
that.
could have exploded and stuff could have landed in Roswell,
Well,
New Mexico.
American submarines are made out of steel, because we don't want them to
No, you
explode.
could have the memory alloy thing in the ship, and then it could explode and then fly all the way over to Roswell, New Mexico. I don't know. Or since it's it's a military thing, and since it's like around a military site, it could have just fallen off a goddamn truck. I don't know why it had
That
to
too.
like fly off a spaceship. But that's just me.
Okay. So it turns out that this memory metal can be used in weather balloons because of its shape adjustment response to temperature. Because even though it gets stupid cold as you get up really high, you reach a certain point, I believe it's called the thermosphere, where it gets really hot. And if you want your balloon to top out at that point, then you set your metal to be responsive to that temperature by adjusting the alloy, send it up, it reaches that level, adjusts shape, and it controls its buoyancy to keep it leveled at 35,000 feet or whatever it is. So you could use it as a de facto altitude control.
Oh, let's see. Gotta go find the pet. It's
Come here. Come on. You're being stubborn. Hang on a
yes.
second.
Can we zoom in on the pet?
Hang on
Puppy
a
time!
second.
Puppy time!
Bubba, come here.
Oh, puppy. Whoops. Okay. Puppy. Yay.
Yeah.
Who's a good boy?
You're a good boy. Everybody loves you. You're a very good boy. Yeah.
The star of the show.
Oh, yeah.
We should just do shows of like people's pets. Like,
One day.
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe for like a something hundreds or yeah, like a 15K thing, and I'll get everybody who has a pet, and we'll just like parade them around. Hey, Dr. Kip, you can show off. Dr. Kip has a Dagon. Sorry, he doesn't know how to spell his own dog's name.
Dogs can't spell anyway. He won't notice.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. The
For,
what do we call
for
him?
those accusing him of being a fox, he's part Australian cattle dog, part Chihuahua.
Do I have doggy puppy in here anywhere? Let's see.
Ma.
I have him in here somewhere, and I know this because, yes. Here we go.
Holy crap! That was unexpected.
That's
Oh,
yeah. Dad,
said it.
he hates that tree. He eventually tore it down. Oh, here's something.
All right, so there's a new alien conspiracy circulating the interwebs. Now, for you to buy into this one, you have to buy into the ancient astronaut theory. You know the one I'm talking about. The ones that this guy likes. I'm not saying it was aliens, but it was aliens. So, you have to believe in that theory to go along with this one. The theory basically states that Earth is something similar to like Australia was back in the day, where our planet was basically used as a prison planet for all the undesirable alien species in the world. Which almost sort of checks out a little bit. I mean, dude, seriously, think about it. We are a fucked up species. It's not that hard to buy into the idea of every single nation is some kind of prison gang. It's just on a larger scale. Not saying I'm fully believing it, but I'm not discounting it either. What do you guys think?
There's a meme that's been running around saying the Galactic Council has sent representatives to check on prisoners Adam and Eve. It's been a few thousand years. Surely they're dead by now.
Jets and Sharks.
I don't know. Like, didn't Adam live to be like 800 or something?
Well, that's why they had them a few thousand years.
Yeah, there you go.
There's a few different sci-fis along those lines too.
That's what the Nephilim are, by the way. They're just aliens. They're just better.
Yeah, he's saying, I don't know how, well, obviously it's a TikTok vid. I don't know how old it is, but yeah, that's the like you're saying, it's the most popular one right now.
Love it.
All right, let's go.
That I'm quite sure of. Being an intelligence officer, I was familiar with just about all materials used in aircraft and or air travel. This was nothing like that. It could not have been. End quote.
That is some funky, funky metal.
I mean, they took a sledgehammer to it.
I like the sound of this metal.
Yeah, it sounds like I want to get my hands on this metal.
I like that he's giving some tactile descriptions.
They said they took a sledgehammer to it. That's not, they took a sledgehammer to it. That is a man 50 years after the fact going, sledgehammer was taken to metal.
He's got a point.
I mean, if it was just ordinary weather balloon material, you would think they could demonstrate it. They could produce it. Or something of a similar ilk. Like, hey, look at this cool metal that weather balloons in the 1940s were made of. How it resists sledgehammers and things. Like, demonstration,
Oh, no, we can't like come with facts or anything like that. That would be silly.
It ruins. See, that this is the problem with all these skeptics, is they want things demonstrated, not just claims. It ruins all the fun. You have to have faith. How else are you going to get any kind of supernatural events to occur in the first place?
Yeah, no, and it's what do you call it? It's like that one meme said, if I could find
With
it.
a stick. We use a stick.
You want a source, Jack? My source is I made it the fuck up.
Thumbs up in chat if you played Metal Gear Revengeance.
No, but I mean, seriously,
Also,
isn't that
thumbs
like
up.
every conspiracy theorist ever?
Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry.
It's not just something wasn't right.
It would glow and shine.
Yeah, he's talking about the weight of it, the feel of it. I like this.
After this admission, Friedman interviewed more witnesses, both civilian and military, and in the end concluded that there had been a massive cover-up of the Roswell incident in 1947.
Of course he
The
did.
UFO conspiracy guy concluded there was a massive cover-up.
Yeah, but nobody in Washington, but I mean, I guess they would not, right?
Mm-hmm.
Quote, cosmic Watergate, end quote. A cover-up that...
Cosmic Watergate. I love it.
Is that just Cosmic Gate?
Cosmic Gate.
He prognosticated Watergate. He was like, before Watergate, there was
Cosmic Watergate.
You know, Cosmic Watergate would probably be a great name for a gay bar.
Ooh.
I
It
like
is
Cosmic
something.
Gate.
Yeah. It makes me wonder, did the aliens set up Nixon?
Ooh. Yeah, I have it on good authority, or
I think it's much
questionably
more likely
sketchy
that
authority that that's something that the aliens would totally do.
I think it's much more likely that the aliens would be set up by Nixon.
Only
Indeed.
Nixon could go to China, but only the aliens.
Aliens can go to Nixon.
That's right.
Allegedly includes details of the crash site, the materials, the possible spacecraft, and even alien bodies found at the scene. And with that, let's get into the two main theories. The first theory is that the events at Roswell transpired as reported, and the alien wreck was merely a weather balloon, as stated by the Air Force. When you look at the physical evidence available, this appears to be what happened. Though, in 1994,
What's a USFA?
It's the editor not being fact checked, or the editor was not being edited.
Who
What?
edits the editors?
Yes. Who watches the watchers?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when I get
or
it, like FEMA comes up.
He's trying to do USAF, but they mixed it up.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just like I'm watching for weird letter configurations after the thing with the Royal Australian Air Force showed up
So it's
earlier.
not the United States Fire Administration?
It,
Only
maybe
you can prevent forest fires by crashing alien
exactly.
spacecraft.
Have you seen the American West at the moment? It's all on fire.
We've noticed. We're here. It's fun. Everything
Yeah.
smells like smoke.
Mm. It does here too, because
Except for
all the smoke is wafting this way.
yes.
Yeah. And there's that.
Actually, I'm a little bit past the fire because I'm like basically a couple miles from the foothills of the Rockies. So
Okay, you just have to boogie a little bit to get up above the snow line, and the firestorms can't reach you.
yes, but then it's also
This has
cold and
nothing to do with the
the air is
video.
thin.
That's true.
Weather balloons go up where it's cold and the air is thin. There, I brought
Yeah.
it home again.
Hey,
Yay! Good job.
play
Good job.
button.
This is why you're a pro.
the US Air Force released a report admitting that there was, in fact, a cover up. However, it wasn't a cover up of extraterrestrials, but instead a cover up of a top secret military operation. The report states that the remains found on Foster Ranch in 1947 were indeed the remains of a weather balloon, but not any regular weather balloon. This balloon was part of a then top secret program called Project Mogul. Project Mogul was conceived of by Dr. Maurice Ewing at Columbia University.
I'm not familiar with this one.
Me
It's a
neither.
thing. It is.
What is it?
Well, it was high altitude intelligence tests using weather balloons to collect data, which
Okay.
is a thing we do today and other people do.
Project Mogul, sometimes referred to as Operation Mogul, was a top secret project by the U.S. Army Air Force involving microphones flown on high altitude balloons. The primary purpose was
Yeah.
long distance detection of sound waves generated by Soviet atomic bomb tests. Oh, so they're trying to see if the Soviets were like creating bombs?
Testing bombs. And more to the point, it was not very effective. And like today, we use satellites to track nuclear explosions, but they moved on to seismophones, and I think, mostly seismophones. But now we use satellites to do the same job.
Yeah, I remember it making the news every single time North Korea was testing.
Well,
Right.
that's not the one that, like, the odd one that should have made the news in the last couple months was Iran
You would
has
think, yeah.
a number. Well, no, there's been a number of just the right magnitude of earthquakes to indicate that Iran is doing underground nuclear testing, which makes the entire fucking thing that happened a couple months ago a waste of time and life. But here we are.
I thought we were on the same page. I mean, everybody that wasn't in the Trump administration, that was like complete bullshit and a waste of time and lives. It's just me. Maybe it's just me.
It might be. I don't know.
I mean, why not both?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Not okay. Either it's just me or everybody's on the same page that it was a waste of time.
What I mean is like,
But Ember is being a politician and trying to include everyone. I applaud this.
yes, vote for Ember.
Vote for
Like,
Amber.
Yeah.
We
Yay!
totally vote for Amber. You
Hell
should
yeah.
run. I will write you
You know-
in if they don't put you on my ballot.
It's been proposed a few times. At first, I was like, I appreciate the suggestion, but no one is going to elect an atheist to national office. And now it's even worse because I mean, I'm not even blue haired. I'm like all the all the colors.
Hey, all the colors. Yay.
I'm
I love
as
it.
queer as
Well,
you can get.
my congresswoman became Lauren Boebert this time.
Oh
And
no.
Oh.
There's a part of me that wants to run just to fight Lauren Boebert.
Do it.
I'm sorry.
Like go out there like little, like, just have a
Wow.
fight. Ugh.
No, I feel
horrible.
depressed.
Like, and it's like she was
You
up
don't even
over.
have to be competent. You can just be like, we need real family values. None of this movie theater shenanigans making our state look like a disgrace. You could steal the Republicans right out from under her.
It was a showing of Beetlejuice in Denver, and like I like musical theater, Lauren. Like, what the fuck?
I know, right?
Respect the show, damn it.
He theorized that just as underwater microphones could detect sound waves produced by explosions thousands of miles away, perhaps an airborne monitoring system could do the same. Thus, as fears of nuclear war proliferated after World War II and intensified at the start of the Cold War, the top secret airborne weather balloons of Project Mogul were launched to detect any nuclear tests carried out by the Soviets.
Boy, that's a
Okay, so we pre-learned the thing it was going to tell us, but now we have some accuracy in the video. That's something, I guess. Hooray.
big
Yay!
explanation.
Yeah, here's the thing. If people are already on you for a cover-up, I don't think it's a good card to play to be like, well, there was a cover-up.
Right.
That's why we were acting so weird. But it was this, not that. Don't look over there. Look over here.
But
the same
that's
thing.
exactly
Yeah, and
it.
also,
Like,
it's sort of a-
there's a cover up. Okay, there is a cover up.
I mean,
well,
yeah,
not that
obviously.
cover up. This cover up. Oh, I got you.
Right. They're only
yeah.
telling us it's the top secret anti-Soviet Cold War tech so that we'll stop suspecting it's aliens.
I mean,
Why would they be hiding the top secret anti-Soviet Cold War tech from the Soviets in a country known to have Soviet agents like the Rosenbergs, you know?
I can think of no other reasons besides aliens.
It's true.
trying to have their cake and eat it too by saying there was a cover-up, but it was just a real nice weather balloon, like you've never seen, made out of some real strange metal.
Very shiny.
Oh, it was the shiniest weather balloon you've ever seen.
Project Mogul's balloons were
We have the shiniest weather balloons. I'll stop.
tested out at
I
several
just,
locations.
yeah,
around
I
the
don't know
US.
why he's like so against it being a weather balloon.
Motivated reasoning. He really, really wants it to be aliens.
I mean, outside of that,
I mean, I'm just suspicious. It just, yeah.
And in the Pacific, and one of these locations was over New Mexico in the summer of 1947. Project Mogul balloons typically measured over 650 feet long and had a tail on which various listening and sensory equipment was attached, which the military posits could possibly be misidentified as a UFO.
If it was 600 feet, it's going to be a huge pile of debris. There's going to be a lot of weird shit there. You're going to be very confused.
At a glance, from far away, I'd be like, holy shit, look at that field littered with
No.
debris. No. And
You
I'd
would
get
walk up to
no.
it and be like, the end is nigh. You'd go running through town ringing a bell.
No.
The Martians are here.
No.
Lock yourselves in your basements.
What I would do is maybe I'd do that running towards it. Then I'd get close and be like, oh, it's just fucking tongue depressors and Elmer's glue. Because that's what it was. Balsa wood.
so are they saying it
sticks.
is
You gotta keep it
Project Mogul balloon or it's not? Like, what are they?
They're gonna sit on both sides of the fence for the rest of the video.
Awesome. It seems like they're kind of, I don't know. It's like they seem to be like switching back and forth, but the general shape of it seems to be they're hypothesizing if it were this weather balloon and you came across it, what would that look like to you?
Well, there's
Yeah,
also
so
like
I'm
the
just
weather
kind of
balloon.
showing the different, like, I just did Project Mogul balloons, and like, this is the stuff that's coming up. So
Like, not that I'm an expert in weather balloons, but I did watch the Mark Rober video where he did the egg drop from space.
okay.
Right? So he takes this thing and he makes a release and he drops an egg from a weather balloon, and the egg drops and it hits in a field, and the weather balloon gets it basically implodes and flies off, right, and falls somewhere else. Like the weather balloons go like hundreds of miles sometimes out from where they were launched because they're up like almost in space or in space. So, like, it's entirely possible that you launch a weather balloon with all this sensor equipment. The sensor equipment falls off and lands in some rancher's field, and the weather balloon itself is, in like Kentucky.
Yeah, no,
That
yeah, that. Sorry, go
like
ahead.
would a weather balloon do they ever come down? How do they control that? Because they don't have remote access to the thing. Does it like slowly lose gas like typical
I,
Mylar balloons?
so like the weather balloon that Mark Rober used, the famous YouTuber used, had the ability to have a tear, like a release tear that pulled an entire side of the balloon off, like a whole panel.
Okay.
Dang.
So the entire thing just
For $5, Jester says, a Shia Muslim socialist from Uganda won the Democratic primary in New York. Your argument for not running is invalid.
Technically true and technically correct is, of course, the best kind of correct. However, I
he's
would
also
point
a
out that
straight
particular
man.
yes,
That can
he's
have a
cis,
huge
he's
difference.
straight, he's in New York City, whereas I'm in Red Hat territory. Details though.
Are you? Oh, that makes so much more sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of wish Evie Mux would let me like just do these things without like having to come back to the screen. But Jester, this is for you.
You are technically correct. The best kind of correct.
I love that clip. Ah.
We're going back over here.
I'm excitable. Don't mind me.
No, that's fine.
Right, if you want it to float.
That's not alien materials, is what I'm getting at. I would obviously get close and be like, oh, this is just human shit.
In February of 1994, the General Accounting Office of the U.S. Congress initiated an audit at the request of New Mexico Congressman Steve Schiff, a UFO skeptic, to locate all government records relating to the
Wait. If he's the representative from the state where the tourist thing is, why is he trying to debunk his own state's economic driving thing?
Let's check if Steve Schiff is a Republican.
Like, that's like trying to get your own army base closed, Like,
Yeah,
what are we doing?
if he is in fact a Republican, they're weird. I mean, they're just really weird people.
Yes, he was a Republican.
All right. Well, question answered.
I don't think we need to go further.
Right. Screw my own people. Fuck it.
No, I think
Roswell
that's the
incident
new
ended true.
Republican motto.
Yes. Fuck everyone. Just fuck minority slightly more.
Actually, at this point, I think it's a lot more.
To certain extents, depending on which minority you're talking about specifically. Like people with colorful hair or people with colorful skin tend to get a little bit more attention, considerably a little bit more, but other minorities, still some, even if less.
if these records were handled properly. The report was published by the U.S. Air Force in 1995, titled, quote, The Roswell Report, Fact versus Fiction in the New Mexico Desert, end quote. The findings of the audit supported the theory that the debris found in 1947 was from a balloon used in Project Mogul, and
Which is just what the man would want you to think. The fact that it's not a conspiracy is proof of the conspiracy, because, why would they cover it up if they weren't covering it up?
This is some real Dale Gribble shit.
Oh yeah, this is like well, it's the government once again doing 4D chess.
Mhm.
I don't think I've ever met a set of 10 to 15 government officials that are capable of 4D chess. Like, the more government officials involved in the thing, the less intelligent the thing becomes.
Facts.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. It's a weirdly unique ability. Like, in most of the time when humans try to work together, even if you throw 3 random people in a room, their different knowledges and areas of interest will overlap to create a superior level of educability, right? Sort of
Well,
like we're
yeah.
doing here. Like, some of us all
Diversity makes everything better. Right.
yeah.
But this
But when the
doesn't
government does
necessarily
it,
translate
Unless
into
they're Republican.
a set of competencies. Well, no. If you don't watch, you should. The series from BBC called Yes Minister and Yes Prime Minister. If you haven't watched it, you'll enjoy it immensely.
by that, do you mean I'm going to throw something through my screen at great velocity?
No, it's a fun show. It's a very British take on why political systems and the interactions between the state bureaucracy and the political wing of British politics. Uh, and like, if you're generally familiar with the Cold War, it's a very funny show.
Okay.
Sure.
I'll take your word for it so far.
Found no evidence that aliens or alien spacecraft were involved. The report concludes that Marcel and Blanchard's original flying saucer press release was in part an overreaction, and in part due to the fact that
But, like, why do a press release? Like, file an internal report, panic, whatever. But, like, to issue a press release. What?
Well, he's a PAO officer. He's not like he's doing anything else.
We need to get some attention to keep the base open, maybe? The war's over. Congress is going to start closing these. I mean, look at what happened to Polvo, right? The war ended and they shut the whole damn town down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would like to congratulate you, Hooligan, for celebrating 16 months of membership. Please continue to enjoy your Tapico Weasels, your nitties, and vaginas.
Yay!
flying saucer
Wait, I have a thing. Where's the shit? I can't find it. I've got too many. Here it is. Damn it.
That felt anticlimactic.
So there.
was a new term that didn't yet have a clear meaning.
Bullshit. Well, that's fair.
Are you fucking kidding me?
So flying saucer at that point didn't necessarily mean space alien. It was just literally like, that looks like the thing I put my tea on, but it's levitating. Right?
What?
You're gonna say that they didn't know what they meant when they said flying saucer?
I mean, it hasn't always been in like the national
Ryan's
lexicon.
not necessarily the best skeptic.
Right? It's a little oof. Like, so a UFO just means unidentified flying object, and that was a thing that was in the lexicon at the time in terms of the war, right? Because like there were GIs who flew in B-17s and shit, manning the radio stations or the waist gunners or whatever the case may be, and they would see this weird configuration plane zip all the way up from nowhere in seconds, and then zoom, it's right past them, and it was just an ME-262. But they didn't know the Germans had invented jet engines, so it was just an unidentified flying object.
Or a new identified flying object. Because, like, you know, a Focke-Wulf or a Messerschmitt is going to be moving slow enough that you can go clock the Falconroos on it, right? The ME-262 wouldn't be. Or you have the H-1 or the 110, the Horton, the big fixed-wing jet thing they did. Like, all kinds of stuff the Germans put out. And, like, or you're sitting there, you're in a high stress situation, right? And you see something and you see it for like a half second and your mind paradolias it into some other shit. Like, all kinds of things could possibly happen to generate a reasonable reason for the thing you saw.
Correct. But I mean, why would you think any of those other things when the answer could be aliens?
I don't know. Of the
Clearly,
right
there were actually more aliens, but it was people's preoccupation with the Germans that made them assume what was actually aliens were just more Germans.
The Horton 229 for the person in chat asking me what I'm talking about.
Oh, the Golgotha flying wing.
Yes, the flying wing that they built that was not actually a stealth aircraft. Thank you very much.
They made that out of wood, though, didn't they?
Yes, very lightweight wood.
Wood.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There were, I believe there were two reasons. The first is it had a reduced radar profile compared to the hard steel
Okay.
bodies of most war aircraft. The other was the idea, I don't know if they actually tested it, but the idea was that it would damage less because it's wood, so a bullet will just go right through without leaving a big old hole the same way it would with steel plating.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure that actually checks out.
As someone who shot at wood multiple times in my life, I don't know if that would work out the way they planned it to.
Yeah. But they never got to try it. They had just a couple. They had like two finished prototypes, and another one was being assembled or something when the R&D facility got taken by the Soviets.
No, I don't think that had a stealth coating, as best as I remember from the assembled documents.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, radar was brand freaking new. I don't know that they'd even thought of the idea of stealth per se, not the way we think of it today.
No, there's a lot of technology that goes in the modern stealth fighters, but even some of the stuff that would have been tested in Area 51 would have been like leagues beyond anything someone thought of in World War II.
Yeah. So fun, random, actual history tidbits. People came here for conspiracies, damn it.
I know. Purple says the word gremlins was actually coined by World War II British pilots when planes had unexplained malfunctions and they blamed it on the Fae.
Yeah, there is a significant history in British culture and English culture specifically about how they interact with and understand the concept of the Fae. It's actually fascinating if you go study it. I need help.
No. Oh,
Play
no.
button.
People in ancient Rome saying, flying saucer.
In 1997, the Air Force released another report titled, quote, the Roswell Report, Case Closed, end quote, in which they offered this possible explanation for claims to alien bodies found at the crash site. In the mid-1950s, the military tested the effects of parachute jumping on humans by dropping human-like dummies over New Mexico. The dummies had latex or plastic skin and could be mistaken for alien bodies by witnesses at the Roswell crash. But if
A likely story.
There's a substantive problem with this,
Mm-hmm.
in that there is a very long history in esoterica and occult of the Roswell aliens, the Greys, that seems to have been transplanted onto Roswell. So, for example, you will find stories of now I can't remember his name, that I need to remember it. I'll get it. Give me a second.
It's in there. I believe in you.
Just gotta concentrate a little harder.
I should
Everyone
not
send
have.
thoughts and prayers.
I should not have put 2 shots in that lemonade.
No, do not come sober. All right. So, Ember, what do you think? Is it real aliens or I don't know, army dummies?
I'm gonna say time travelers. I like a
Ooh.
option. They appear human, but they're future humans, so they're more evolved. And humans
Ah.
are getting bigger and bigger heads, right? Like we're
Mhm, mhm.
on the point where we almost have to do C-sections for every birth because the heads are so damn big, and that's
Yeah.
keep happening. At least until we wipe ourselves out. So these are future humans with giant brains that figured out time travel, and they keep coming back to try to save us from the nonsense that we're going to do that will prevent their future from happening, something. But it hasn't worked yet because of grandfather paradox. They die from tachyon radiation overdose. Ha!
Interesting. I don't hate it.
That's very Star Trek. Tachyon radiation.
Oh, I
Daedalus, what do
fucking
you
love
think?
Counter-graviton particle beam off the main deflector dish.
So did you
That's
did,
the way.
did anything come to mind or
No, I'm trying to search related terms to remember the goddamn name of this religion. Thalma.
Oh, there's a
That's
whole
it.
religion.
okay?
Aleister Crowley. Jesus Christ.
Oh, the Golden
How did,
Dawn
oh my
people.
god, I can't believe me or you didn't get that one, Ember.
I mean, I was thinking like Richard C. Hoagland or something like that. I don't
No,
know
so
where.
Aowas, he claims to communicate with a deity that looks suspiciously like the gray alien, and that has entered the lexicon largely throughout the paranormal community, and it's like not, it feels like not coincidental that that's what we ended up with here.
Aleister Crowley, oh god, like fuck that guy. But you hooligan for $2 says, can I catch an ember with a magnet?
If you get close enough, maybe.
Hmm.
I do like shiny things and also magnets apparently. So if you have a shiny magnet, then you've got like double the potential luring capability, I suppose. I don't know.
Oh,
Hmm.
Crowley worshipped a lot of things. You should just go into it. He basically smashed together a significant number of mythologies and came up with some impressively interesting things.
So yeah, Ember, did you catch this? Dr. Hip has been, I guess, sharing the good news of Redeemed Zoomer, who
Oh,
says,
good.
yes, yes. Apparently, before the fall, we all had tiny little heads, so that childbirth was easy. And now, after the fall, obviously, these big heads are the things that are making childbirth painful, which is why we have them. So before the fall, we all had those little like shrunken heads that the what do you call it? Witch
Like
doctors.
Witch doctor heads.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
like
witch doctor
like
heads.
the pygmy mummies in The Mummy Returns.
Yeah, yeah. Or if you're a Beetlejuice fan, the end there, if you watch the end credit scenes.
So the
So
fruit of the tree of knowledge is
made of
literally
resin.
knowledge. It's the melon.
It's the melon. Yeah, it's these big brains and now painful childbirth for all of
Well,
us women.
I have a related question. Why is it that every YouTube channel that uses Zoomer in its name is like kind of psychotic? Redeemed Zoomer, psychotic. Zoomer historian is trying to resurrect the Nazis are good guys mythology. Why is it every time someone decides to name their YouTube channel after Zoomers, they're just, psychopaths?
Are they maybe because of the far right propaganda that all the Zoomers are horrible and evil? So they're like trying to be evil to like. I don't know. I'm just thinking like Candace Owens, right? Like they're taking Candace Owens to say, hey, look, black people can be Nazis too. You know?
It's
I
a
don't
great
like the weird turn this has taken. Like,
it's a
where's
great
that?
age of inclusion in the
It's
racism
the play
sphere.
button though. It's not playing.
It's defective.
That's the
never
goddamn
mind.
button. Damn it.
These dummy
Look.
drops were in the mid-1950s. How could this possibly explain the Roswell incident that preceded it by several years? The military has an answer for that too.
Time travelers. Duh.
Oh wow! You called it.
Air Force Colonel John Haynes explains that during the recounting of events decades later, details, quote, tend to become compressed, end quote, suggesting both he and the Air Force actually believe that witnesses are mixing up events from the mid-1950s with what were perhaps the most horrifying memories of their lives years
What the hell's
earlier.
that?
Yeah, we've all done it.
That was pretty horrifying, whatever the fuck that was. Holy shit.
Indeed.
It's also a fairly consistent explanation with how we understand memory to work.
I mean,
Well, from a certain roundabout perspective, there is that compression telescoping effect, but there's limitations to that. Like it tends to be years in the middle distance, like recent years, you tend to have a better sense. And again, 10 being generalized across populations, individuals will differ because that's how statistics work.
Obviously.
But nearby years, say 6 to 8 years or less, you have a general idea of how far away things are. And then depending on your age, the size of the middle years bottleneck will vary, but something like 10, 20 years will all kind of like squish together. But stuff past that will be stretched out again, like early childhood. In fact, if you think about events in your childhood in chronological order, you might, depending on how your brain works, get a sense that the difference between the age 3 and age 6 feels like 30 years long. It's wild how the brain categorizes things based on your subjective experience at the time.
Well, even if you're doing like you're interviewing subjects for like recording historical events, not uncommon. We did that a lot in wars. We do that a lot now. We can find huge variations in a story told one time versus a story told 10, 15 years down the line. Or events get conflated that it would put into two separate incidents and they make it into one account down the line again. So yeah, like memory is, we tend like, there's a tendency for people to think that memory is a perfect recording, like you're doing a VHS tape or something. And like, it's a much more fluid thing. So it's not beyond the pale that you have a case of a person taking two events and squashing them together.
Oh no, that's insanely common.
Oh, for
But
sure. Yeah, we're working
TK
on new
is
computers.
on the nose here. This is alien. I don't know if you can see here. It says Alien Autopsy, 1995, and that is indeed, but is, I don't know, a picture of whatever here.
An alien being autopsied, I guess.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. Oh God. All right. So yeah,
The
Don't
90s
love
were a
that.
fun time.
90s were, they were fun.
Yikes!
No.
Right?
No, I mean, sure, if I'm trying to remember what I had for breakfast a year ago, yeah, I'm going to be a little foggy on that. But if I'm remembering that time I saw alien bodies thrown from a wreckage, I think I'm going to remember that quite clear and when it happened.
Another discrepancy is the
No,
fact that the bodies are repeated.
you may or may not remember when it happened. And especially if something is traumatic, we tend to remember it. I mean, it's
All I remember is Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith and a Little Red Light.
damn flash
details
there.
aren't always. I mean, when you start talking about like trauma in the brain, memories act differently.
Oh no, like I have a not insignificant portion of my childhood that I basically cannot remember for reasons. 5 years in therapy, not a fucking clue. So yeah, that's totally a
But I mean, yeah, just kind of like Ember was saying, like the further things are, oh God, I was just reading a thing on this, and it's getting close to midnight, so my brain is like trying to conk out of me.
New computers, perfect design.
Our brains are not memory recording devices. We remember the gist of things, and if things are, for the further away something is, the more fuzzy we are in exactly when it happened. Unless you can remember things like, oh, I happen to remember that I was celebrating my 50th anniversary or 50th birthday because that was the only time I would have been on this cruise ship. Like, I mean, that's better. But just like this general sense of when something happened without it being tied to like something that could have only happened in a certain year. Humans are shit at that kind of thing.
Oh, for sure. None of my memories, very few of my memories, I should say, are pinned to a certain date. I have to, in order to figure out when something happened, I have to put it in the context of events happening around it that I can look up and figure out what year those events happened in.
Yeah. Yeah. Most of my memories is, okay, who else was there? How old were they? Or, what year was I employed there? Or,
Yeah.
yeah.
like yeah, you'll tend to do better with like the certain parts of substance than the when.
Yeah.
Right. For
Yeah.
example, I worked.
I mean,
in
nobody, if you saw an alien back in 1947 and it's 1997, you may or may not. I mean, it's probably going to come up as like late 40s, early 50s. Honestly, like nobody remembers that.
Yeah, like for example, like I worked in a call center for 6 years, and I remember the crazy customers. I can't tell you what days they called, but I remember what they said.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
more experience based. But in this particular case, I'm tempted to tangent even further, but in this particular case that we're dealing with, the dude made a press release. Like he recorded the incident and there was no mention of bodies at the time.
Right.
Even if you're like, oh, you would never forget a body if you saw it, forget
and then
memory.
50, yeah, and then 50
Wrote it.
years later, we have this very generic thing that pops up again and again and again.
Yeah, then all of a sudden everybody starts talking about aliens, and then automatically I'm retroactively inserting this thing that, yeah, I mean, that's totally what a human memory would do or a human brain would do. Um, but I'm sorry, you know what? We're all wrong. The answer is clearly aliens and government cover up.
It has to be because I mean, what's the alternative? That there aren't aliens? Have you seen the Drake equation?
I
Been
have, but I
described
refuse
as,
to do
quote,
math.
little, end quote.
That's
Same
fair.
feels.
In fairness, the Drake equation is absolutely fucking useless because there's so many variables where the best we can do is just make up our best guess to plug them in. Like we
Yeah, I mean,
data.
it might be great if we had all the variables, but since we don't, the
Mhm.
play button is still there.
But it's a little. It's a little. We could
Often
adopt a
4
little.
feet or less, yet the dummies used in these drops were 6 feet tall. It's unclear how this contradiction is also an effect of time compression.
You
Well,
said
it's
it in
clearly
there.
helped.
Compression. That's how it worked. It got smaller over time.
Yeah. I mean, have you read Relativity? The further you get into a gravity well, the more compressed the vertical becomes, according to the Lorentz transformation function based on your gravitational acceleration. Am I weaseling correctly? Is that how that's done?
Yes.
Being said, one interesting tidbit from the report is the fact that upon requesting files from the Roswell Air Force Base from the year of the Roswell incident in 1947, it was found that all records from that time, from January through October 1947, had been destroyed. And
That's
even more suspicious,
not
the person
that's
or organ-
not suspicious at all. That is a fairly common problem if you have a grandfather my age and you're looking for their records. Vast quantities of Pentagon records, including personnel records, were destroyed in a fire. So if you're looking for like a World War II vet's records, if they've passed and you want to get a shadow box for them, for example, you've got to wait for them to reconstruct that shit.
That's disturbing. But also, it makes me
No,
think
it's
of
not uncommon at all for records to be burned. There's, man, if you look just American history, like how many things have been destroyed in fires.
oh
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
everything
accidental, sure, because we keep building
used to love to build with wood.
Uh-huh.
Just saying.
like so as you know, I used to be an over the road truck driver, and I went through the city of Ocala, Florida, and it turns out this city burned to the ground twice. The whole city burned in an out of control fire, and so they rebuilt. They said, "Oh well, the problem is we used all wood construction in a very warm climate." So they rebuilt it with all wood construction. And
There's
it
the most
burned down again.
that's the
Funny
most
that.
Florida thing I can think of. Yes.
I know that Mini Minute Man. I was watching one of his videos, and he was going through a town, and I went to Vermont or somewhere up there, and like there's nothing left but the stones. Surprise, surprise. Of this town that had been was it like a wool or fabric or something like that,
Oh, so
and
many textiles in New England.
yeah, and the town was built out of like this, from this mill that held all the jobs for all the people in the town, and when it burned down, people just left for other employment, and the town, it had, school, churches, a mail post office, just and everything abandoned, and everything left was abandoned that didn't burn down. But I say it to say, like, that was the last video that I saw on it, but like there's just so many in US history. This is not uncommon, and it's not in and of itself nefarious. It's not like Greg Locke's book burning parties. It just
No,
happens so often.
it's them not having, like, either not presenting or not knowing the context, and therefore assuming nefarious intentions behind or nefarious actions instead of, a fire, which is a not unpredictable event, particularly when people used to smoke indoors all the time around paper.
What could possibly go wrong? It's not like we've lost entire libraries to that sort of thing. No, I think people think of like the NASA tapes being deleted or whatever because of limited storage or limited budget. But I mean, even in that case, that wasn't what actually happened. NASA deleted the telemetry tapes, not the video tapes from certain missions where we no longer have those particular vehicles anymore. So we don't need the telemetry because we're not using those vehicles.
Just saying.
But I do digress.
Organization that had destroyed these files and the authority under which they had done so were not indicated.
No,
This is a reach.
that's a bit of a reach.
There, that's all I wanted to hear.
No, it's a bit of a reach. Some of this is going to be baloney. Other bits I might not be so sure.
This one is certified fresh.
Yeah,
That's a fresh cut.
I'll take a bite of that.
That's a fresh cut.
And with that, let's get into the second theory, that the government
Wait, there's
engaged in
more.
a cover-up to hide knowledge of alien life.
Well, actually, before I get into it, I do have one more thing.
Why? Why under what set of circumstances would it make sense for the United States government to hide alien life? This is one of those sayings. Let's gain this out. Alien life crashes. It is immensely more powerful and technologically advanced than us. Would we not assume at that point that we should probably figure out what this is and what it can do and start asking people, hey, did you find some kind of weird metal that you hit with a sledgehammer and nothing happened to it? Perhaps we should go do that. What sense does that make?
So we can test it and find out ways to hit it with sledgehammers that do work, or possibly lasers.
This happened in 1947. I guarantee that if we had that technology, we'd be using it in some sense now.
Maybe. We're a little bit slow sometimes.
We do use sledgehammers.
That's true. That's true. We have been granted access to sledgehammer technology. Oh my goodness. So this makes me think of the other, like, evangelical conspiracy theory where the demonic forces have taken over the world governments, especially in Washington. Like, everybody in Congress, either they're possessed by a demon or they're beholden to a demon for some other reason. For Satan, I guess. Is there really that much difference between demons being behind everything and aliens being behind everything, especially considering there's jackasses like Hugh Ross running around saying that demons and aliens are the same thing?
Yeah, I was just about to say there are some people who think they're the same thing.
People think Democrats and demons are the same thing.
My patron has told me to tell you that's not true.
The spirit behind the wall.
Yes.
No. This is not usually part of the thing. What are you doing? Are you putting on a tinfoil hat?
Before I get into
Wait,
this,
I don't know why they didn't start the show with tinfoil hats.
Right? Now I feel silly.
Oh, goodness.
Oh.
Me over here, fresh out of tinfoil hats. Ember came prepared. I love it.
I forgot I had that. It's been a minute since I was like the actual guest, and I was so worried about getting ready to do proper weaseling, I didn't. I'm bad at my job.
Oh, I
You're
love
getting
it.
used to it still.
Yeah.
that most of this is based off interviews with those who claimed to have eyewitness testimony. The amount of witnesses is said to be more than 600 people, ranging from civilian to high-level military. Some details of these stories vary between sources, so we've chosen to mainly focus on interviews conducted by two respected researchers named Thomas J. Carey and Donald R. Schmidt for their book, quote, Witness to Roswell, Unmasking the 60-Year Cover-Up, end quote. And while
what
most
field
skeptics
are
will
these
Wait,
scoff
how
at
many
the notion-
witnesses are they saying covered it up? No, this is ridiculous. There's no way you can keep that many people from talking. I mean, unless like there's like
Not
a
with that
legit-
attitude.
Well,
There it is.
I love how you've seen the show before. But like, I mean, what was my point? Is there an actual like Men in Black, like with the flashy thing, like just saying, girl, you better, your husband is gone, and you kicked him out, and you better go get dressed up and find you a new man, and I don't know, whatever the fuck else Will Smith said, but like, you can't keep this many people from talking.
Well, you got to buy the book to find out. That's the point. Is buy my DVDs. I mean, buy my books.
Fair enough.
For 3 easy payments of $19.95, I'll explain to you how to keep that many people from talking.
In my leadership masterclass, gain the inspiration you need to silence conspirators.
What's that master? What's that? That's my leadership masterclass. That's a shotgun. And
Hell yeah.
Consider this. If there were hundreds of witnesses to a murder, all recounting similar details of the crime, would you doubt they were telling the truth?
I don't know. I guess it depends on the
depends on what they
circumstances.
think the truth is.
No,
You can't handle the truth.
No,
Probably.
clearly, which is why we have to cover it up.
We mustn't let the public know about the sledgehammer-resistant metal. It will cause a panic.
there's hundreds of
I
people.
just don't want you to have any satisfaction.
You know I'm making a good point there. If there's hundreds of
I'm not
people-
going to give it to you.
No, you're going to get, you already, by you
depends.
saying I'm not giving the satisfaction means you internally want to agree with that.
If there's only eyewitness proof and no actual proof of the murder,
Sure, if there's 5 people, but if there's 600 that have high-level military fucking people within.
There's 600 witnesses. We don't know their names. No one has spoken to them, but I assure you they exist. It's written in my holy book. I mean, my classified documents book. Trust me, bro.
Hey, this is a true statement. Ember has the right hat for every occasion. I co-sign.
One does one's best.
In that group.
no blood though? No blood, no evidence, no nothing?
There's 600 people.
Just-
Why would they all lie?
The more riled up you get,
Why would they all lie? Oh, if we haven't heard this one a few thousand times before.
Well, that's not the only that's not the only set of circumstances. The first set could be there's not 600 people. The second set could be that some of them are just trying to repeat a story that they heard in a bar that's fun. There's a whole bunch of set of circumstances between they're telling the truth or they're lying. There's not a binary choice here.
I mean, and again, don't we still only have a book claiming that 600 people saw it?
Book said a thing. But they probably
I mean,
died
we've learned nothing.
Yeah. Well, they've learned what works. It's a time-tested classic.
Fair enough.
right now, the worse you come off because of this accessory.
Yeah, I realize
it's really not helping.
I realize
I don't
now
think the
that
hat's
this
the
was a very
problem.
bad call. I thought it'd be really funny, but now I realize I look like a fucking fool.
No, arguably, I mean, look at these damn things. They're shiny. They're metal. You can hit them with sledgehammers. Like they're
in the shape of a hat, for fuck's sake.
You can hit them
Like,
with
what
sledgehammers.
more do you want?
it's fashionable.
You can hit them with sledgehammers
Probably.
once.
Yeah. Not working with the wig, but details.
Begin by going over suspicious details around the time of the crash, particularly the contradiction between the official record and eyewitness testimony. When Mac Brazel took some of the crash debris to the sheriff, debris that crash site witnesses described as otherworldly, Brazel also reportedly admitted something significant. According to a
Like, how did 600 witnesses gain access? Like, were they witnesses to the same information? Was it 600 witnesses of the risen body? I mean, the alien bodies? Was it 600 witnesses of the sledgehammer-proof metal? Like, the fact that the eyewitness statement written by the guy who wrote the press release contradicts the press release. Like, what are we doing? What is the conspiracy exactly? I'm losing track. I need more yarn.
Aliens. The conspiracy is aliens.
Clearly, the aliens need to concoct better conspiracies.
I am still trying to figure out where the aliens are. Like they could figure out how to get here, but they couldn't figure out how to land. I mean, it just seems like something that they should have factored in before trying to land.
Well, that would depend on the planet they come from, assuming they even come from a planet. That's an assumption on our part that intelligent life has to arise on the surface of a planet. Just because we did doesn't mean it's a requirement. But like, say, for example, they
As
come
opposed to
from
like a star or like a black hole. Or what else would
I mean, interdimensional, perhaps, but I was going to go with the icy oceans of Europa, right? So they come
okay.
from a world where there's an icy ocean and then a crust, and then just space. There's no atmosphere to speak of, and then they travel to Earth where there's an atmosphere and a crust. And they assume they don't know what to make of the atmosphere. That's going to be turbulence they have to deal with. But our atmosphere is fairly thin compared to Jupiter or even Venus. So not that much to worry about. We got to like heat shield or something, but no big deal. But they're expecting you have to punch through the crust to get to the ocean underneath. That's not how Earth works. And so, boom, crash land in New Mexico.
That sounds like the shittiest cobbler I've ever eaten.
Local radio personality Frank Joyce of the KGFL radio station, Brazel admitted that the crash site was likely a UFO, and more importantly,
oh, well, if the radio guy says so, that settles it.
Yes, because someone with a 4-letter call sign on the radio has never lied, ever.
No. I mean, they were under the fairness doctrine at the time, so.
Well, you have to give equal time to the other theory. Demons!
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Let's not rule those out.
Well, I mean, the other book says so,
that there were alien bodies on the scene. According to Judd Roberts, a minority owner of KGFL radio station, this admission would be recorded later, but KGFL did not air the interview due to phone calls from the FCC and U.S. Senator Dennis Chavez urging them not to.
Or if you've got a crazy guy still spouting lies, yeah, I'll put a stop to him.
Or you got a very sane guy spouting truth.
Yeah, or that.
As detailed before, the military would issue an incendiary press release saying they have a flying saucer, only to correct themselves a day later. Like the military, Brazel would also recant any statements made about UFOs at this
Mark
time,
has a
according
point.
to research.
Oh, how many?
Why is it, por qué no los dos? Why does it have to be demons or aliens?
I mean,
That
yes,
question.
because
That question
aliens-
has a Jezebel spirit. I refuse to accept it.
Yeah, I mean, valid
Take that,
also.
Mark.
But alien, like God, definitionally, an alien. He isn't from here. He pre-exists the earth. The same with demons. They're just fallen angels. They would pre-exist the earth, so they couldn't be earthlings, and therefore they are automatically aliens.
Well, then ICE should be able to take care of that problem. Lickety split.
Nitty's got a point.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that Nitty was a demon. He would probably know better than all of us.
Shibboleth this.
Suspicious.
Indeed.
Have you ever seen Nitty and a demon in the same room? No? I rest my case.
Researchers Carrie and Schmidt. Shortly after Brazel's new statements, neighbors said Brazel purchased a brand new pickup truck and left his job as a rancher to start a business in Alamogordo, New Mexico. Also suspicious in Carrie and Schmidt's findings were testimonies from locals and Brazel's family that revealed Brazel was detained by the military around this time, further suggesting that he could have been forced to recant his statements about UFOs. The military.
Yes, he was pressured into.
So your theory is that he decided to give up the information and recant the most significant finding in human history so he could get a new pickup truck.
Every person has a price. It's just a matter of finding out what that is. Some people, it's a lower price than others. Yeah.
Okay. I give up.
See?
also reportedly threatened locals to keep quiet, as well as ransack their homes for remaining crash site materials. This is corroborated by the testimony of the foster daughter of Colonel Hunter G. Penn, an Army Air Force officer who supposedly admitted to his foster daughter that he was tasked with enforcing a, quote, information blackout, end quote, with a focus on the little bodies. He was authorized to use physical.
How does he correctly recognize that that's an Army Air Force officer and not be able to recognize that the Air Force hasn't existed for 2 years? The time of this for the entire fucking video.
Time travel.
I mean,
force and weaponry if necessary to get this accomplished. Another interesting contradiction was that Colonel Blanchard, the superior to Major Marcel, who approved the initial flying saucer press release,
Army disc counts. I'm not sure whether to be impressed or disturbed.
disturbed, definitely disturbed.
I think that's top tier dad joke.
Ah. Yes, Katina, because no dad tells tales.
I'm not liking the looks of this. It just
Hmm.
it rubs me right. First of all, the Dateline is from Fort Worth. Now we know that high muckety muck person was based at the Love Field Air Base or whatever, which would be in Fort Worth. Maybe they have dominion over that part of U.S. space, but it's it just I don't. The next story down: lost purse holding diamonds is found. I don't know. It just rubs me really, really the long way. If we delved into it, which we're not gonna, but if we did, it just there's a lot of like orange flags in here. It bugs me.
strangely, went on leave after he issued the controversial release. However, according to Lieutenant Colonel Joe Briley, who was a staff member of Colonel Blanchard's, the reported leave was actually a cover-up to allow Blanchard to coordinate a cleanup operation of the crash site.
I mean, if he fucked up and was like, yeah, it's UFOs, and they were like, no, it's not UFOs, you stupid piece of shit. We'll fix your mess. Why don't you take a little time off?
Why don't you leave?
Get your shit together, get your life together.
Yeah, why don't you leave so people could look at that later and be like, why did he leave after he makes this weird announcement?
I don't think they care, again. I don't think
I mean, they should care if they're people who concentrate on details, is what I'm saying.
Perhaps the key contradiction is the photo taken in General Ramey's office of the supposed crash site materials. A sealed statement, apparently written by Roswell Army Airfield's Public Information Officer, Lieutenant Walter.
What is wrong with that man's head? That's not.
Or maybe it's a hat.
Aliens.
He's one of them.
Oh my God.
One of us. One of us.
G. Hott, which was only to be opened after his death, claimed the photo taken in Ramey's office was a hoax. Hott wrote that the actual crash materials were substituted with weather balloon materials and then photographed with Marcel, a fact that upset Marcel. Just to hammer home the possibility of a cover-up, a man named Ben Games was a personal pilot to then Major General Lawrence C. Craigie, the chief of the engineering division at Wright Field, the Air Force Base commonly thought to be where the UFO and aliens were transported and housed. According to Games' testimony, he flew Major General Craigie to Roswell to examine the crash wreckage, and after a few hours, flew General Craigie directly to D.C. to meet with President Truman. A few months later, Craigie assumed the position of Air Force Chief Director of R&D, and perhaps, influenced by what he saw at Roswell, founded Project Sign, the first official investigation of UFOs by the U.S. Air Force.
You know, maybe he got there.
So what do you know about Project Sign?
Oh, that it's a lot less famous than the Blue Book Project, and like, this is not good history.
Yes. That's what we're here. I mean, you know, bad science, bad history. They're related subjects.
Okay. Like, there's not like
Project Sign.
So, also called Project Saucer, it was an
Okay.
official U.S. government study of unidentified flying objects undertaken by USAF and active for most of 1948, and eventually was the precursor to Project Grudge, which, as we know, is the thing that studied demons that let haunting spirits into the world to consume the souls of moviegoers worldwide. I think that's how that works.
No, that
Right?
sounds about right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happened to me when I saw Fantastic Four. Okay.
Hmm.
You've been oppressed by evil spirits.
Said, "This is obviously a weather balloon.
Fantastic
A UFO
Four.
wouldn't do this.
Sorry.
It's not what UFOs are like." And they were like, "Oh, this guy knows a lot about what UFOs aren't."
No,
Yeah.
no, you don't.
Yeah,
This
but
guy's
it's
got a good
kind of
eye for
easy
what
to know
isn't a
about what
UFO.
UFOs aren't, right? UFOs are definitionally not anything that a UFO isn't. Therefore,
So, like, things on the ground are not UFOs.
yes, which automatically
Yeah.
excludes the Roswell crash because it was on the ground. Case closed. 'Twas ever thus.
I mean, he's got a point.
Checkmate.
You're saying they send someone out in the ocean to be like, oh man, I didn't find Godzilla out here. We should start a program about finding out about Godzilla.
I mean, clearly he's got a good eye for detecting what's not bullshit.
Now that we've established the cover-up and timeline, let's quickly go over some of the controversial and fascinating details of this theory, starting with the reported alien bodies at the scene. These supposed witnesses are consistent in their descriptions of the bodies as short in stature, maybe 3.5 to 4 feet, with large heads, large eyes, only holes for a nose, and a small slit for the mouth.
Look, everybody
Sounds
be
a lot like a spacesuit.
everybody be ripping on my short kings here.
So,
Children are short and tend to have larger head proportions and big eyes, even.
so he's talking about gray aliens, right?
Yes.
It seems to be that's the classical gray alien is the
Yeah.
Roswell aliens. Maybe they ate extra fruit from the tree of knowledge. They didn't
Go
have
back
just
for
one thing, but
seconds.
yeah.
Okay, so we first see gray aliens in Hollywood in 1961. But I'm still not convinced that people aren't like retroactively transposing memories onto one another.
No, exactly. That's easily the case.
Yeah.
I mean, they're telepathic too.
Also,
Surely
like-
our simple primate brain.
Oh, well, yeah. I
easy-
mean, if you're telepathic, it's very easy to do that then.
Yeah.
Also, again, like Aleister Crowley does this whole thing with an extra-dimensional being that he says looks just like this. So it's not like it's a new concept. It's like the 1900s. Like it's not like Hollywood pulled it out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our culture, our zeitgeist, if you will, has collectively had a sense of these aliens for centuries.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Which
Bree has a
is
question
real.
for you, Ember.
Why is Ember in denial?
She's not in denial. The Nile's a river in Egypt.
That's right. I might go swimming in. Well, the Nile has like those giant leeches that'll just take your head off, right?
Probably more alarming are the crocodiles.
Ember is swimming in denial.
That's also the river that they sent the blocks down to build the pyramids.
It's true. I might sail down to Nile. Bold of you to assume I can swim. There's a reason I joined the Navy. It's because the point is to keep a boat under you.
I mean, if you can't swim, I don't know that the Navy would. But
don't they make you swim like as part of training?
There's a swim proficiency test where you have to lay on your back and not die for 60 seconds. But if you have no natural buoyancy, like yours truly, then an instructor or safety person will stand next to you and hold you up.
Okay.
What's the point of that?
I'm a little alarmed that the United States Army decided to come up with a more comprehensive swim test than the Navy.
Because the point of the Navy is to keep the boat under you. If you fail to do that, you have bigger problems.
Yes.
Yeah, like not being buoyant.
like the fact that apparently the Army can outswim you.
Oh my
But
god.
it
No, so
could
all of
have
my little
been.
brothers had like no body fat, so yeah, it made it really hard for them to take swim class. But I mean,
Okay,
God.
everyone understands that if you put air in your lungs, you float, right?
I
Right?
don't, or well, I didn't when I was younger. I have no idea now.
Sure, but like if you have no body fat, I didn't say impossible, I said harder.
Okay.
Yeah,
They
I
have
mean, yeah,
lungs, though, right?
they I
technically,
don't
but
I don't
like
know.
when
Maybe
I was,
I don't know. Maybe they like knocked the wind out of them before they threw them in the water.
Okay.
I don't know.
it's possible,
I
or maybe they
know
were
that they kept
comatose.
coming home complaining that they couldn't float. Like,
Yeah, it's not uncommon, especially if they're physically active or something. There's a lot of variations. All
but
I know is that like we do swim classes in school, and they'd be like, take a breath, hold the breath, dive in, and I
mm,
would do that, and I'd sink straight to the bottom,
no, that is an
and I
issue.
couldn't even kick my way back up. A teacher had to come rescue me every freaking time we tried it. I
God
had
damn.
zero buoyancy.
No, yeah, I was floating like a motherfucker. But
I think we've actually discovered the conspiracy we need to get to the bottom of now.
Who's spreading lies that humans float? What is this?
Numerous military officials have claimed to hear secondhand information of the bodies or even see the aliens for themselves. To name a few, there's First Lieutenant and Public Information Officer at the Roswell base, Walter G. Hott, retired Brigadier General Arthur E. Exon, and Tech Sergeant Herschel Grice. Moving on to the spacecraft. According to Sergeant William C. Ennis, he was at the time a flight engineer of the 393rd Bomb Squadron stationed
Sergeant W. Ennis, Sergeant Weenus.
I like it.
And he's got that porn stash. Yes, technically it's part of a goatee, but that does not
Ooh.
make it better.
No, yeah. Porn stash
Hmm.
Ennis. I don't trust him.
Hmm.
in one of the primary receiving hangars for the debris, called Hangar P3. For years, Sergeant
And if you want to put your aircraft in Hangar B3,
I feel like this is what no, go away computer thing.
Play button.
Ennis denied the crash, writing it off as a weather balloon like the rest of the military. However, in 2008, Sergeant Ennis changed his tune, admitting, quote, "It was a spaceship. After all these years, I still don't know how that ship flew. There was no engine. Before I go, I'd like to know," end quote.
Before I go, I gotta know how that ship flew.
Wait, where did we get this information from? Why do we believe it's true?
We don't have sources. We just have to take the man with the tinfoil hat's word for it.
I have a problem with that.
right? Like the Sergeant Ennis, whoever the fuck he is. First of all, it's decades later. He may or may not have dementia. He's like,
I was thinking that too.
The weather balloon didn't have an engine in it, and it came from space. So what's up?
Look, guys.
Where do you get
Citations
testimony?
citations are woke nonsense.
Oh,
It's true.
right. God, I keep
We just
forgetting.
don't take the word of the Lord or something.
That's an
But, like,
excellent point. Purple rhymes with orange. Weather balloons don't have engines either, and they fly. Magic.
exactly. What the fuck? But where did we get the testimony from? Did he call in to Coast AM and tell George Norrie or Art Bell, hey, I was on the Roswell weather balloon project and they don't have engines. What's up with that shit? Like,
I don't
where?
know. I've listened to a lot of Coast to Coast AM, and I don't recall that conversation.
Yeah, me either.
One of the videos when I was trying to find this, I found and I really wish I could debunk the History Channel. So one of their citations for supporting this theory was a coast to coast conversation.
That's not what we would call authoritative primary sources in the business.
I mean, it's a source more than we've gotten here.
I guess.
Damn.
Look,
Yeah. Like at
Look.
least it's a thing people can point to and be like, they're literally just saying Sergeant Weenus said a thing. They're not even saying where he said it.
Yeah, was this on Coast to Coast? Was this on Donahue? Like, I mean, obviously, it wasn't like an
It's not
official.
beyond, like, that's an antenna, right, on his hat. It's not
Mhm.
beyond the pale that Sergeant Weenus is saying things right now.
Oh, yeah, you've got a point. It's just channeling Sergeant Weenus at the moment. Okay.
Right. I mean, we've
Okay.
known since Edison's time that ghosts communicate by electromagnetic interference and waves and static and so forth. And as we just learned on my conspiracy stream, you can tune magical televisions to pick up time travel wavelengths from ghosts and demonic entities and all sorts of things across all of time and space.
No, it's
So,
called
You know,
telepathy.
when I bought my TV at Best Buy, they wanted to sell me an extra to let me do that, and I thought it wasn't worth it.
just build your own
Hey,
time space
how are you
TV.
supposed to contact the dead without an extra antenna? God.
I just started digging. Spirit fingers are nowhere near as pleasant when a necromancer uses them.
Oh no. I was thinking shovel. Like you can contact the dead with a shovel. It's
Look,
very low tech.
I'm just a necromancer trying to raise a family, and some asshole chased me out of the cemetery.
They just have no respect.
None.
Was he on his deathbed when he said?
But I'd like to imagine him like talking to his grandson.
Yeah.
What did I tell you?
Greetings, Jimmy.
Is the fact that the bodies are repeatedly described
When you're right, you're right.
as, quote, little, end quote, often 4 feet or less. Yet the dummies used in these drops were 6 feet tall.
The time jump?
It's unclear
It's a
how
time
this
jump.
contradiction is also an effect of time compression. They're homes for remaining
Time
crash site
compression,
materials.
yeah.
This is corroborated by the testimony of the foster daughter of Colonel Hunter G.
Yeah,
Payne,
we
an
definitely
Army Air
experienced
Force
a time
officer
jump.
for
I blame
Lieutenant
the
Walter
alien.
G. Hott, which was only to be opened after his ability of a cover-up. Examine the crash
Where the hell were
Maybe
we?
he got there and said, "This is obviously a weather balloon. A UFO wouldn't do
20-something.
this. It's not what UFOs are like." And they were like, "Oh, this guy knows a lot about what UFOs aren't."
No,
Yeah.
no, you
A
don't.
little bit
Were
past.
some of the controversial and fascinating details of this theory, with large heads, large eyes, only holes for a nose, and a Walter G. Hott, retired Brigadier General Arthur E. Exon, and Tech
Yep,
Sergeant
yep, we
stationed
did
in
that
one of
one.
the primary receiving
And-
hangars
okay,
for
we're
the
close,
debris,
we're close.
called Hangar P3. For years, Sergeant Ennis denied the crash, writing it off as a weather balloon. These years, I still don't know how that ship flew. There was no engine. Before I go, I'd like to know.
Things, Jimmy. I don't know how it flew.
Jimmy, I think that ship was bedeviled.
The craft was also confirmed in numerous other testimonies, notably by Lieutenant Walter Hott, who described in his affidavit a ship Colonel Blanchard had shown to him that was roughly
Why did
12
I
to
feel
15
like
feet
90%
long.
of
What
this is Lieutenant Hott?
affidavit? What are we talking about? Like, oh, it's just like the affidavit. Like, there's only one type of affidavit, or that it can't. There's like a billion things that don't use affidavits. I have affidavits in my employee files.
Yeah, it should be, a thing. Okay, so after Hott died in 2005, his affidavit says that before leaving the base, Colonel Blanchard took me personally aside. So this is like a posthumous alleged affidavit by one guy saying the other guy did a thing.
Objection.
Awesome.
Objection. Hearsay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like Admiral Byrd's diary at this point.
Yes. And look, we're back at Admiral Byrd and Operation Hightower.
You're welcome.
It all goes back to the secret Nazis.
Yeah.
And windowless. To close this out, let's move on to the scattered debris from the crash site,
You know,
which
I
many
think
claimed
Heinrich
included
Himmler is probably tickled as pink about the fact that we're still sitting here trying to sort through this bullshit.
I know, right? It's just, yeah. Could be happy as hell in hell.
Just tickled pink.
What color would he be by? He'd be like gray and bones. Possibly with a big head, though. Maybe
he had an apple.
Maybe.
a mysterious material that
He should. It'd make him look like more of an asshole.
was
Indeed.
described as, quote, memory metal. Summed up from more than 24 witness testimonies ranging from military to civilian, the metal was said to be weightless, smooth, thin, and could not be cut, scratched, or burned. Though the metal
That
was
sounds
able
like
to be
something Oprah would
temporarily
try to sell
manipulated.
us.
Here's a
I was thinking Dr. Oz.
Yeah.
But like also there's theorized potential metals that we can't actually fabricate yet, but certain properties. Weightless doesn't necessarily mean massless. It means it has, a neutral buoyancy within Earth's atmosphere. And it's not unthinkable that we could construct such a thing. For example, if we took a lighter than air gas and compressed it to the point that it formed stable crystals, and then we used those crystals to make metal with, we'd have to do it at like stupid low temperatures. But theoretically, it's not impossible. And as we know from our theist friends, if a thing is not logically impossible, that means it's true.
We need something very low temperature.
Very, very, very low density. But it has to be low density after it's compressed, not just low density at room temperature.
So so it has to be cold to make this thing, right?
To make it, yes. Once it's made, it.
I have the perfect place. My ex's heart.
Oh no! Oh no!
quote from Roswell Army Airfield Sergeant Earl Fulford. Quote, I picked it up, but once in the palm of your hand, you could wad it up into a small ball. Then, when you let it go, it would immediately assume its original shape in a second or two, just like that.
Are we
End
back
quote.
to the
This
memory
free-flowing-
foam metal?
Yes.
Yeah, they were referencing it. It's different from our memory metal, though. This is the magic memory metal that's actually memory foam, spray painted silver.
Oh, that they used to make the spaceships from God knows where.
Yeah, like the lunar landers that bounce on the surface of Kubrick's
Ah,
film set. Mhm.
yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Quality of the metal was echoed amongst many testimonies. Retired Brigadier General Arthur E. Exon said, quote, some could be easily ripped or changed. There were other parts of it that were very thin, but awfully strong, and couldn't be dented with heavy hammers, end quote. Exon also explained
The
Heavy-
height of Army technology.
Heavy
Sledgehammer.
hammers, sledgehammers. Okay,
Look, if it's
different.
stupid, but it works, it's not stupid.
It's a very Army thing to say.
that these observations were from his time as a lieutenant colonel when he was also an administration student in technology at Wright Field's Foreign Technology Division, a division whose purpose was to reverse engineer foreign tech. Additionally, a memo surfaced in the early 1980s detailing a September 15th, 19...
If the purpose is to reverse engineer foreign tech, and the tech was different from the weather balloons that we'd been testing out, then maybe it wasn't our weather balloons. Like we're still doing this. There was this whole thing in what was it, 2020 or 2021, when there were Chinese weather balloons drifting across North America.
Yeah,
We know the Germans did it. We know the Russians did it. The Chinese are still doing it. Could that be the thing? Is just a foreign country's high-tech weather balloon?
Yes.
Uh,
No, aliens.
We can't admit to this violation of our sovereign airspace.
But we sent an F-22 to shoot down a weather balloon. Here's a question. Did the F-22 pilot get to paint the silhouette of a balloon on the side of his aircraft?
That is an important question, because getting those still marks, that's what pilots often do. That is the point. It's not to go fast, it's to get stenciled shit on your jet. And going fast is nice too. And also flying. I have no idea how to even look that up.
I think I'd have to go ask someone, and I don't want to.
We need to file a Freedom of Information Act request.
and I'm a little dismayed. There's 16 people who think that the answer is always aliens. They cannot hit the like button. I've got a suggestion. Hit it anyway.
I mean, it's sort of like a mark of distinction, a level of maturity, a rite of passage.
If you hit the like button, then pretty girls will talk to you at the line at the grocery store.
Yeah.
If you prove you can hit the button, girls will like you better.
This is true. These are all facts.
Yeah.
50 conversation between physicist Robert I. Sarbacher, a consultant with the U.S. Department of Defense Research and Development Board, and other government scientists. In the memo, Sarbacher is said to have worked on a failed reverse engineering project, allegedly stating, quote, "All we know is we didn't make them, and it's pretty certain they didn't originate on the Earth," end quote.
That's good.
It's
You can say that about anything.
Why are you pretty certain? What is it made out of? Like,
right. Like how can we? You're a physicist. You know how spectroscopy works. We can. I mean, we can gasify some of it. We can shine like. There's so many possible ways to determine its molecular makeup, if not its atomic makeup. How do we not know what it is?
You could use a divining rod. It could get
You
real
could.
fun.
Ask a freaking psychic. Call the ghost hunters. Have them ask the spirits of the departed to tell us what this thing is.
For $9.99 a minute, you can call Miss Cleo or California Psychics.
We haven't called the psychic.
I always like marvel at the people like, yeah, I talked to the psychic person. Like, did you have to describe the situation you wanted them to investigate for you? Yes. Why? Why did you have to do that? Why didn't they know?
So when I was a repossession agent, one of the people I had to repossess was the local psychic reader.
oh man.
She was not happy because she
Those crystal
didn't
balls are heavy too.
expect us.
She didn't expect you?
No, I'm like, ma'am, you are 3 months behind on your payment for this van. You don't even have to be psychic to know.
I was just about to say that. Like, how psychic do you have to be?
What's happening here?
Oh my God. I mean, I'm just listening to it and I saw it coming. Like, holy shit.
Some people.
In fairness, she was probably the worst psychic you've ever heard of.
But you have heard of her.
You have now.
Good. I love it.
Coincidentally, not to dox her, because there's a shit ton of people with this last name, but her name is Mrs. Walker. Nominative determinism, I suppose. Because she no longer has a van.
It's important. Yes, it's important to remember that you get back the energy that you put out into the world.
And there's that.
I think right now I'm just punching the skeptics in the face over and over again. I'm slowly hammering away.
One last point.
That's
in
not
favor
what's
of a
happening
cover-up.
here.
Let's assume that the military is telling the truth and that the
Let's assume the military. That's too far. It's too much of a reach. The military telling the truth.
Yeah,
Come
I mean, I never assumed that either, but they get a couple more points than these skeptics do.
I don't know. Every time I had to go to training and someone said this was going to suck, they were 100% correct. So,
Stop clock twice a day. We can't rule it out, is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
crash was indeed a fancy Project Mogul weather balloon. That still does not change the fact that the remains found at the crash site were apparently, quote, rubber strips, tinfoil, a rather tough paper, and sticks, end quote.
But it doesn't make it true either. Like, this dude said this thing, and if it was a weather balloon, it couldn't possibly have been rubber strips. But that doesn't mean that the rubber strips are actually there.
That's another interesting possibility, because as I'm sure you're aware, rubber is a product of rubber trees. So if we found rubber strips, it's definitely a Terran product of some kind.
Okay.
Yes. And tinfoil. And if it's tinfoil, then we have to assume that it was a good recipe.
They needed the take-home bag.
Yes. The aliens needed the doggy bag.
The paper, it's Chinese. Paper and sticks. There, we solved it. Done.
Go.
Checkmate. Or something.
All right, how far are we from the end?
It looks like we're at 25:35 and it goes to 28:49. So just over 3 minutes remaining.
All
At our
right.
current rate of progress, that'll take us about 40 minutes.
I was thinking that. Um,
But at least we made progress.
we made a lot of progress. Okay, so last week we got through it's really 4.5 minutes because the last half a minute was Dr. Kip hitting the play button and then yelling while he was muted. So I'm not counting that part.
That's fair.
But yeah, we definitely got further, way further than last time. So
Despite my best efforts.
yeah, you two were really trying to like hold us back. So
I don't know what you could possibly be talking about.
25 minutes. Yeah, yes.
We're efficient.
Look, it's copyright law. It's transformative content.
Yes, yes, we did do that. We definitely did that. So all right, are you two like so this is the video that was going to prove aliens for everyone. So are you two convinced?
I'm convinced that we might have to get him a new tinfoil hat.
It doesn't seem to be tuned in properly.
Better reception is required.
Right. I mean, you need a much longer antenna to get those long interstellar wavelengths.
Yes.
Look, delightful guest for bingo.
Well, thank you.
Hooray and things. No, I think it's disappointing because they went through all the song and dance and even the faux shenanigans in order to try to set it up as a false trichotomy, right? They're setting it up either it's aliens or it's also aliens, or the most unbelievable of all, the military is telling the truth, when in fact they themselves could be a misdirection, part of the conspiracy trying to make us think it must be one of these three options, when the truth is something else entirely. It's a classic 3-card Monty strategy. Follow the queen, follow the queen. You've got the 3 different cards. You have to pick one. One of them is definitely the queen, except the queen isn't even on the damn table. It's already
I lived in Chicago for 10 years and rode the CTA quite often, and I learned the best way to not lose that game is to not play.
We've heard that from war games as well.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
All right, but I do want to say shout out Native Atheist for dropping dimes in the chat.
Our favorite
Maya needs more cult members. I do. I really do. But we did pretty good today. We stayed mostly in the 60s for the duration of the stream. And you guys aren't really big on aliens generally, but I don't know. It's the Roswell thing. We needed to put it to bed. We haven't ever done anything like that. Daedalus was here to help us out with that.
Yeah.
So would you like to tell us who are you, where are you, and what do you have coming up this week?
I am Daedalus Media. I am sitting in this chair. So I am the co-host of Two Guys Talking History, and we've decided that we're going to sit and talk about Nostalgia Bait this week. Because both me and Hetman have been watching King of the Hill, and I have feelings.
King of the Hill, Fuller House, Roseanne.
Fuller House, Girl Meets World.
Okay, interesting.
It's an issue.
There's something wrong with me if they manage to con me into watching every single episode of Girl Meets World.
Ooh, I saw quite a few Boy Meets Worlds. I've never seen a Girl Meets World.
Yeah, but I would of the age, because I'm 36 now, going to be 37 in a couple months. I'm of the age where TGIF was a thing that you watched. So you watch Boy Meets World and Sabrina the Teenage Witch and all that.
Yep.
Right on Friday nights.
Yeah.
So like they got me with both that and Fuller House and So yeah, that's our plan for this week.
Okay, interesting. So are you thinking that's all going to be on your Patreon? Are you
going to do anything? That's probably going to be us just talking on stream.
Okay.
The Patreon thing is I still got to organize. And then we got a couple other things sitting in the pipeline dependent upon the additional participants getting off of the front line in Ukraine. All kinds of stuff in the works.
Yeah, it's or oops, wrong one. It's God, really bad out there. Or if you're a U.S. citizen in here.
Well, I was kind of thinking about that, right? Being of that certain age, and like I'm like we're living in the apocalypse, and it's not nearly as dramatic as I wanted to, but it also is. But then I remember that I've been basically living under apocalyptic conditions since 2007, and I think I'm just getting a little bored at the end of the world.
End of world burnout. Yeah, once you
Yeah,
fill up a couple, of those 10 end of the world's apocalypses, your 11th rapture is free or something like that.
yes, yeah. I think that's it. We need merch. We probably should. I like my logo set. It's nice.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't have like a logo or anything really. I don't know. I'll think about it. I do think about merch because I think it's cool, but I don't know what I'd put on the merch. So I'm a little. I don't know.
Well,
One day maybe.
for the 1 year anniversary of the channel, I got me and Hetman t-shirts.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
How could you not wear them? Like,
I do sometimes. It is there. It's in
well,
the
like,
laundry.
like when you're when you're like on other people's shows, you're supposed to be repping, right?
I
Oh, is that what you're
guess.
supposed to
Like
do?
I'm obviously not good
You
at that.
do.
I'm obviously not good at social media. We're at 681 subs, and we've been there for like 3 weeks. So go
You
subscribe.
have no, yours are good. You put out one today where it was like oh, what were you saying? So who was it? Piers Morgan was upset that Beyonce did a jeans ad where with like Marilyn hair. And
Yeah,
you were like, twiggy white girls aren't
are not a culture.
yeah.
Oh, he was trying to go for like cultural appropriation or something.
Yes.
Yeah, I do a
Beyonce is
not
culturally
insignificant.
appropriating Marilyn Monroe. And way to tell us that you don't know what cultural appropriation is, Pierce.
Yeah, I do a significant amount of sarcastic tweeting still. I decided to go down with the Twitter ship fighting. So uh that's something we do pretty routinely. Like I asked Grok what historical figure I most like. It's like Voltaire. I'm like, you know what? I'll take it.
Could do
Oh,
worse.
yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I hate that which colors don't come up, but yeah, the nitties possibly.
It's
Or
not a
like
bad
yeah,
idea.
just like a shirt, just like nitties,
Or even
but
a
like
top
right.
with a nitty on it.
All right, Amber, your turn. Who are you? Where are you? And where do they go if they want to help you not die?
Ah, yes. I am Better Than Ember, found here on YouTube by a channel of the same name, as linked in the description and visible on screen and such. I'm on a whole bunch of channels, including the Transpositions Weekly, every other Saturday, doing debate reviews with Mark Reed. Sometimes I show up in other places, such as here. All my links and other stuff I do is on betterthanember.com, where you can also find a link to a fundraiser to help me not die, because I have had a shitty fucking year and I'm currently buried under 5 figures of medical bills, and I would like to not die. I have no job. I was driven out by transphobic assholes, and everything sucks. So if you would like to help me not die, you can help with the fundraiser. All that goes to is just the medical bills. It doesn't pay my rent. It doesn't pay my food. That's what support on the YouTube channel is for. And I appreciate people who support there. This is just to not die. And there's more details on the fundraiser itself. But big thanks to anybody who does decide to help out with that. I very much appreciate it.
All
Yay.
right.
I love to end with a terrible story of like, hey, help, I'm dying.
I mean, I isn't that a story that we all have to go to bed with, though?
It's true. Well, I mean, we could probably come up with something better.
It's only 10 o'clock. I'm gonna go watch more House of the Dragon.
There you go. Um,
There's something even more horrifying. Thank you, Ancher.
yeah, and I'm going to go to bed because I have to go to work in the morning. And man, that sounds like I'm just like rubbing salt into the wound. But
You're like, oh, you
just
get to go to work.
like,
It's fine. I'm still healing. I'm getting a lot of YouTube stuff done. I'm doing other projects I'm helping some of the local nonprofits. but mostly I'm healing. I'm trying to take the time to
Yeah.
freaking heal and recover some and do like the surgery I've got coming up this week. It isn't even directly related to the work stuff, so there's a lot going on, and I can definitely use the time. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, yeah. Where is Kip's thing going to pop up? It's like, boo, work. Here we go.
yes,
Yeah,
it's
I mean that's yeah. I think we can all like. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's kind of a necessary evil. It'd be nice if we could
yay,
just like live
capitalism.
in a civilized society or capitalist society where the basics were just covered, and we could put
That
our money
sounds like
towards.
communism.
Yeah, yeah. It should because unlike idiots, I don't.
Communism.
Unlike idiots, I don't have an aversion to communism.
Hail, comrades!
See,
I
we
I am ready to seize the means of production.
yay! Barbecue,
Okay, but
barbecue.
it's going to have to be more than 3 of us.
Yeah, yeah. So get your asses in gear. We have 50 of us. Let's do it. All right. Well, commies, I will see you next Sunday. And remember, be true to who you are, not who you were told to be.
Fuck yeah.